So tell me, why did you move with Mayflower?
Because I didn't want the stress or the surprises you'd get with a move broker or mom and pop. This move was about the destination, not the chaos. That's why we chose Mayflower. They're America's most trusted mover for a good reason. They've been at it for 100 years. That kind of experience matters.
What do they do for you?
Everything. Packing and unpacking, custom crating, furniture setup, storage. It was all spelled out in the move quote. Nothing caught us off guard.
That alone is worth it.
It was. We had a professional move coordinator keeping us updated the whole way. And knowing our belongings were protected with their full value protection, that was huge.
So, no moving day panic?
None. Professional crews, careful handling, and the freedom to actually enjoy starting fresh.
For more than a century, Mayflower has delivered worldwide capability and full-service care every step of the way. Big move ahead? You're in trusted hands with Mayflower. 100 years of moving expertise delivered with care, local, long distance, and global. Get a quote at mayflower.com.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. It usually, this time of the year, it's warm, it's balmy, a lot of people will be barbecuing, all that good stuff. First of all, can you guys hear me, see me, all that good stuff? Let me know in the chat, depending on where you're watching. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on X, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know if you can see me, hear me, all that good stuff. Happy Memorial Day. Shout out to our veterans, but Memorial Day is about the people that we've lost, that we're fighting for our freedom. So shout out to all of you. But here in New York City, it is a cold, wet weekend. It's been this way the entire time. Shout out to those of you celebrating Black Pride in the DMV area. Look, it was a wet, cold weekend. Wet and cold, okay? I just thought of something, but I can't say it. Nope, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. The thought that I just had was for Kempire After Dark. I'm not saying it is too early, and it's a holiday. Okay, I'm not saying it. But okay. I'm just gonna. All right. We see each other. We friends in my head, y'all. Yeah, okay. All right. Y'all saw it. All right. Shout out to everyone watching from around the country. I see Chicago's in the building. New York is in the building. Yeah, the East Coast is trash this year right now. Oh, my goodness, this weather. Thank you, Millie. Millie says loud and clear. Thank you, Kendra. Kendra reminded me to get my water. Literally, when Kendra said it in the chat, I had just said out loud, I need to get my bottle of water. And then I read that comment. I was like, thank you. Senior JC says, watching from New York City. Rain, go away for me with this Apollo. I know. Honestly, I don't mind the rain, but it just feels like it's also chilly. It's also, it's a holiday weekend. Yeah. Hey, Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker's in the building. New Haven, Connecticut. Hey, the China Sea is in the building. Let me see where else everyone else is watching from that I'm missing. Paris, France is in the building. Nelly, I haven't seen you in a hot second. Welcome, Nelly. People are off from work today. I wasn't sure if I should even go live. I was like, it's a holiday, but ain't nobody barbecuing or going in any pool. My building pool opened up, and it's like, you can't go in the pool. It's cold. It's out. My pool is outside. I was like, this is not great. Oh my gosh, Maureen says it's 91 degrees in London. I checked. I did hear that it was hot over there in Europe. I don't know. I think they're getting the weather that we had the previous week. Hey, Detroit. Detroit's in the building. Chicago's in the building. All right. Paris is hot AF, Naima said. Maybe I should have flew this weekend to France. All right. Angel says it's 85 degrees over there in the West Coast. Oslo, Norway's in the building. What's going on? All right. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what you say. Great rainy day to be off. Yeah, it is. That's what I can appreciate, that I don't need to be outside. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to do anything, especially today. Everything is closed. So, there's some good deals going on. So then there's that. Anyway, shout out to those of us that have lost someone, that were fighting for our freedoms. This is what Memorial Day is about. Anyway, moving on from there, don't forget to like today's video. Don't forget to share today's video. Don't forget to subscribe. It is a subscribers-only live chat. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you had to rate this week's episode from 1 to 10, vote in our live chat poll on YouTube. But if you're not on YouTube, but if you are on YouTube, you just want to tell me your personal rating, let me know as well. All right. It's raining in the south. That means more rain is coming up this way. Lord have mercy. I am so over it. Thank you so much. Mir says, happy belated birthday. Are we still celebrating my birthday? I'll take it. Take that, Geminis. Take that, Geminis. We're still celebrating my birthday 2 weeks later. It literally is 2 weeks later. Okay, look, I should still be able to celebrate my birthday. It's only 2 weeks ago. No one threw me a birthday party. Oh. Woo, woo, woo. It's okay. It's all right. All right, 54 degrees in Portland, Oregon. All right, high 60 today. What's the weather supposed to be like here today in New York? I know I woke up this morning, it was raining, but it's warmer today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like 50-something degrees. Right now it's 64 degrees. But it's going up to 70 this afternoon, but it's going to be cloudy. Should I still go for my walk? It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cloudy again tomorrow. And then there's a 50% chance of rain on Wednesday, but it's going to be 82. Pum pum shorts with galoshes. Pum pum shorts with galoshes. That's what you go see. So if you see me in those streets, pum pum shorts with my galoshes on. Thank you so much, Mirror Film Media. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. I honestly, because as a Taurus, I'm very particular about gifts. I like to put a lot of thought in the gifts that I give to other people. So I expect the same. So I would much rather a birthday message, a birthday DM, a birthday text, a birthday card than you get me something I don't need or want. All right. Let me get to Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? Let's get to Real Housewives of Atlanta, guys. I feel like it must be a good season because we were talking about it so much. There's so much engagement on social media. If you don't follow me on X or on Threads is popping. I don't know shout out to Threads. If we could stream on Threads, that's the next thing over there at Meta. Because right now we're streaming on X. Shout out to everyone watching on X. Hey, Just Jules is watching on X. X is where I drop my first opinions on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then I post them also on Threads. Threads is lit. Speaking of lit, I heard so much stuff about Potomac. Ooh, nope. I'm not saying nothing. And honestly, I heard a bunch of stuff about a bunch of different things. Not just Potomac. A bunch of different things. See, this is what happens when you all hemmed up in the house, you get in the tea. Okay. Thank you, Sarai. Sarai said, happy birthday again, Kemp. Are we celebrating my birthday again today? Let this be the birthday live. Let this be the birthday live. Come on, today's my birthday. 2 weeks later, I'm still celebrating. It's still May, right? It's still May. Gemini's, happy birthday to y'all too, but still, isn't it Lauryn Hill's birthday today? Happy birthday to Lauryn Hill, right? It's her birthday today. All right. I don't know. I just randomly thought that. Shout out to all the Geminis, okay? Anyway, focus. Let me open my notes. I didn't even open my notes for our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. You know what? No, Mr. Melon Magic. I did not hear that about Curran. All right, let me open my notes. What did you guys think of this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta? It wasn't as good as last week's episode, but it was good. And maybe because they were on a girls' trip. But this week's episode, there's a lot going on. And did you guys watch K. Michelle on Watch What Happens Live? How do you guys think that she did? I will talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island tomorrow, so stay tuned for that recap. But today we're talking about Atlanta. How do you guys think that K. Michelle did on Watch What Happens Live? And do you think, based on the information that she has shared in this week's episode and on Watch What Happens Live, has cleared her name? I'm not saying that it has. I'm asking a question. Do you think now it makes more sense and that it was a scheme that Porsha set up with Phaedra and Drew to come to K. Michelle with the BS? Hello? Are you guys there still? What do you guys think that K. Michelle has been cleared? I'm holding out hope. I'm going to hold out hope until the end of the season. I don't think so. I don't think it's making any sense, really. I mean, it's kind of making sense, but at the same time, I don't think so. But I will explain to you as we go along when we get to those parts, okay? Destiny says nope. Patricia says nope. Lost for Words says K needs to leave. Oh, KSH Pittman says K. Michelle still seems delusional. Lily says she didn't make anything clear. Okay. Bar says she is trying too hard. Winter says, absolutely not. We are more lost than ever. Oh my gosh. Winter says we are more lost than ever. I had to replay that last few parts between K. Michelle and Porsha multiple times just to kind of be like, wait, did this make sense? Did this make sense? And I'm not saying that housewives do not plot and plan. We've talked about this before. Phaedra and Porsha have been accused of this before. But I find it interesting that K. Michelle is giving Phaedra a pass because she's like, Phaedra knows when not to be in it anymore. I was like, oh, okay, all right. But let's start at the top. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And of course, it's Memorial Day weekend, so I hope you guys are having a good Memorial Day. I don't know what you guys are doing. If you're on the East Coast, you're not doing anything. You're staying inside. Are you guys barbecuing despite the rain and stuff like that? Because I'll pull up to your barbecue. I like a good barbecue. What are you serving? What are you serving on the Jamaicans? What do you guys serve on a Memorial Day weekend? What's a good thing to have on Memorial Day? I would love some rice and peas. I know you were like, what was some jerk chicken with some rice and peas? Some plantains. What else? See, such a tourist. How did we end up here? We're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, but now I'm talking about barbecuing for Memorial Day and what would be good. Look, Singer GSC says, not my backyard is wet. No, my backyard is wet. I can't. Well, you don't have like an overhang? You don't have an overhang? All right. Naza says, not pull up. I'm about to pull up. Can you imagine? Hello. All right. Winter says, you could pull up to my family's house. We have Jamaican too. I know where you live, Winter. I will pull up. No, I won't. Why am I saying I'm going to pull up and I really don't even leave the house? It's like raining on and off all weekend. Yeah, someone said I'm hungry. I am. Look, I am. That's why I have my little yogurt, my Greek yogurt thingy. Shaky thingy, and I have my water here. All right, let's get into this. So at the top of this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, they do those little flashes to everyone's little scene, what's going on in their homes. Shamea is pursuing some acting. We see Shamea's, quote, movie panel. I know, look, I don't care. No, not that I don't care about her movie. No, I don't care about that either. There will be people that have said I'm too hard on Shamea. Is that going to make me change my opinion of Shamea and what she's giving us to the show or lack thereof? No. I just have to give you that disclaimer. I don't care about Shamea's movie, and I don't even think Shamea is that good of an actress. Because even in that one little scene, I was like, wait, is she acting? What is that supposed to be? But I was like, all right, moving on. Pinky's daughter's singing her alphabet, and she gives it an extra letter. Okay, she said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Adorable, Diella. Adorable. As long as it wasn't another K, then I was like, okay, we good. K, K. And at first I was like, yeah, that's how we go. That's how it goes. Gus says, be harder on Shamea. Not be harder on Shamea. Miss Pittman said her commercial was cringy. Was that a commercial? What was that? Like the singing is not popping. And I'm not saying she's not talented. She's just a good singer. But the music is not popping. She's trying to be an actress. All right. Pinky's daughter's singing a new alphabet. All right. Kelly is at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Apparently, the Sandy Springs location is not doing well. She's meeting with her mom. Her mom is very much involved in the business. She's meeting with her Nana, okay? Which the business is named after, okay? So apparently, the location is not doing well. Why is it not doing well, guys? I've heard nothing but good things about Nana's Chicken and Waffles in the food. When I went to Atlanta for my last show there, people said I should get some, but just based on timing, I was in and out of Atlanta. I just didn't have the time when I landed there. They were already closed because they opened early and they closed by like 4 p.m. And I had just gotten to Atlanta. And then the next day was my show. So I just didn't have time to go check it out. And sometimes you got to be in the mood for like chicken and waffles. I'm not a big waffle person. I like waffles, but I much prefer pancakes. But that's me. But I've heard good things about the chicken and okay, why am I going on a tangent about food? I should have eaten before this live. Okay. Well, damn. Anyway, but I've heard good things about the chicken and waffles. Why do you guys think this particular location is not doing well or even breaking even? What could it be possibly that we could assess maybe from that area or something like that? Yeah, Elegant says the reviews are overall good. So I don't understand why that location didn't do well, or at least not breaking even. And I said this last week, I'm going to say it again this week. We've said that Pinky's probably one of the only people on this cast that has an actual storyline, but so does Kelly. Kelly really does have her own storyline that she's talking about. She can't film with her daughters because she's in this divorce battle with her ex. So she's talking about this with her aunt. First of all, this confessional look. Do I have the confessional look here? I think I do. Where's her? Oh, here it goes. This is her confessional look. I mean, this version is the Facetune version. She said, my thing is, if production is calling you out in your confessional, let's talk about this look. I would have said, can I go and change? Because already you know that people are going to have thoughts and opinions, but maybe Kelly doesn't care about the thoughts and opinions. Everybody was dragging her last week for this confessional look. She's like, it's Tom Ford, $140 t-shirt. That doesn't mean she's not the most fashionable, which is crazy to me because her stylist that she had for the first season is now styling all the other girls and making them look great, and she's still looking a mess. Ooh. I don't know. I mean, look, she does have a certain, shape, but if you find the right stylist that knows how to style for your shape, then it could work. But I think it's her. I think she's like, oh, I like this. I like this. No, I don't like that. And they're poor decisions. She needs someone that's going to guide her. She needs some work. I'm going to send, I know a stylist. I'm going to send her one. I'm going to send her one. Do you guys think Kelly will come back next season? I mean, she's very involved in a lot of stuff. I could definitely see her coming back next season. I could see Shamea not coming back next season. And I think it should be her choice. I already said I don't think she should have came back this season. But that's me. I believe that Shamea values being famous. She's always wanted to be famous since she was a little girl. Very based on the career that we've seen her go through. She's always wanted to be famous. Yes, she wanted to get married to a wealthy man. Now she has her kids and the family and things like that, but she's always wanted to be famous. So many people are saying, why would she want to, come on a reality show? She's got the husband, she's got the money, she's got those things. Why would she want this? Because very much like a lot of folks over there in Atlanta, they want to be famous. And by any means necessary. And a lot of times those means are reality television or a Tyler Perry movie. Can we talk? Very much so. Oh, April says, yeah, Sandy Springs isn't chicken and waffles country. So it's the culture of that area. But shouldn't she have known that? I know she's not from Atlanta, but she's been in Atlanta a long time. This is why you have teams to have conversations about this stuff. But maybe she thought because there really wasn't a lot of companies like that in Sandy Springs that maybe she would sort of like be the new thing in the market. Look, I said this before and I'll say it again. The restaurant business is not easy. I definitely give grace to all of these women that get involved in the restaurant business. The restaurant business, so many businesses open and close all the time. So I'm not surprised that, she's struggling with that particular location, but her other location is doing fine. So she's talking with her grandmother and her mom about the business, what's going on with that. She then says that, her ex owes her over $50,000 in child support. And apparently he does, because remember, he got locked up. For not paying child support. I do believe her ex is the worst of the worst. I definitely believe that her ex is the worst of the worst. So she says that she's struggling. She's fighting with her ex, and it's affecting her mental and physical health. Here's the thing. Did anyone pay attention to the grandmother with the grandma? I felt like the grandmother, although I'm thinking her intentions are well-meaning, I felt like she was sort of like downplaying when Kelly is trying to be vulnerable and trying to open up. And I get it. especially as a community, this is something our elders do all the time. Instead of allowing you to sort of like have your emotions or dwell in your emotions, she's like, it's affecting everybody. And I was like, okay, can she have her moment? Because she's always feeling like she's taking care of everyone else. So I don't know. That stood out to me, the grandmother's reaction. I was just like, all right, Nana, like, we get it. Yeah, like, you'll be fine. Yeah, it's affecting everybody. All right. Okay. Hey, J.I. says, Pinky has a team, but her vegan location in Baltimore is also struggling because of the location. Well, good point. But it also depends on your team. And remember, she said she didn't have a great team. So I don't know. But again, the restaurant business, you just never know. A lot of times you have to be willing to take a risk. I don't think I would ever get into the restaurant business because I'm not made, unless it was like a surefire, like this is going to be successful. I don't think I would personally do it, but I'm a Taurus. We're risk prone. Okay. We're risk adverse. So I don't think that could be, but a personality like Pinky, who is, and what's her name? Kelly. Pisces are willing to take those risks. A Sagittarius is willing to go take those risks. That's why I said for Candy, it was good that she got with Todd because she's a Taurus like me. We're not going to be wanting to take those risks. But if we have a partner, we'll probably be more willing to do some of those things. So anyway, back to the Nana. Did y'all look? What did y'all think about the Nana and what the Nana had to say? Miss 244E says Kelly's family is beautiful. Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. So Kelly then says that her ex wants her to depend on him. That's why he is trying to not pay her child support. And look, I wouldn't be surprised that if you look at any sort of abusive situation, which she said that he wants her to be dependent. He wants to make her miserable. Anyone that's been through a divorce before probably could relate to what Kelly's going through. When she said that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. He was probably so used to being the breadwinner, and the fact that she sort of went on and had her own thing and doing her own thing. He's like, you're not going to move on without me. So this is his way of like, I'm not going to pay you child support. I'm going to take this money from you. I'm going to make sure that you're not successful. You can't film with our daughters. It is very much like Ralph Pittman. But anyway, so I do believe her when she says that, and I do feel for Kelly. Because the restaurant business is not easy. Now you're dealing with this divorce. Now you have to pay for your legal fees. You got to pay for your kids. Yeah, I feel for her. She's definitely going through it. And her grandmother being dismissive about how she's feeling. And again, this could just be her way of trying to be positive, but it's coming across dismissive instead of allowing Kelly to express what she's going through. Your granddaughter just said that her mental and physical health are being affected. But okay. So we also find out that Kelly is dating a new guy, and she's been dating him for the last year. Was she dating him when the whole situation about the BET Awards was happening? Just asking. Why would you guys come up with a nickname Jarvis? And no offense to any Jarvises that might be watching this recap. I just thought that was such a random nickname. The production was like, why not call him Tony Stark? That might be a little bit better. But I don't know where they came up with Tony Stark, because do we know if he has money like that? We don't know who this man is. She ends up calling him during the confessional. But she says she's very happy. K. Michelle says that she's gone on double dates with Kelly and her man. Apparently, K. Michelle is only close with Kelly and, what did she say? Kelly and Phaedra. But what happened to Pinky? You were just at Pinky's premiere event. What happened with that? But she says all the ladies come to her. All the ladies are friends with her. And not the other ones. I'm thinking the other ones, meaning Porsha and Drew. Oh, Lord. Okay, fine. So Kelly's dating a new man. So what about the guy that she brought to Porsha's dinner? Like, what was that? I don't know. All right. I'm confused. These women confuse me. Atlanta confuses me sometimes because I don't know what's real from what's not real. And I'm talking about off of the reality show, just in general. Wave Keith asked a really good question. Wave Keith says, thank you for being a member, Keith. Why is he an alias? His wife must be maybe watching the show, ? I don't understand the alias either. you're on a reality show. You can't film with your daughters. You're struggling for a storyline. And now you have someone you've been dating for a year that's not going to be filmed. And we're using an alias. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, you really don't have a lot going for you. So now you're holding back who you're dating. Fired immediately. Fired immediately. You barely have anything that you can really share on this show. You can't share your daughters. You can only talk about what's been going on. And now you have a boyfriend in the phone named Jarvis. That's not his real name. Why are we allowing this? Why are we allowing this? Tammy says, I think it's fake. I don't know if I think it's fake, but why are we allowing this? All right. And GC says he's invisible. Archie says rent to hire. It's a mess. It's a mess. All right. Apparently they met at an Atlanta Hawks game. She really didn't take him serious, but apparently they've been talking. Okay. All right, Kelly, I don't understand why we are allowing this, but fine. I think we're allowing this, and I said, if you came to my who came to my Kempire After Dark live show in New York City? Who came to it? Because I talked a little bit about the season and the tea that I've been hearing about the season, why the cast was so big, why there were so many, quote, housewives, because it was clear, based on the 8 episodes that we've seen so far, that a lot of these housewives didn't have their own personal storyline. And I already told you during the Kempire After Dark live show that apparently they wanted to have all of them as housewives because they just weren't bringing it. Like, everyone wasn't bringing it. So that's the only reason why they had that many housewives. Cynthia, you should be very upset. I hope they're paying you a good special bonus friend of contract. Okay? Ma'am, hold on. Ma'am Bansu, 3 Bansu says, so true, Kempire. Kelly does need to bring, quote, Jarvis on screen because you have nothing else going on. You know what? Coco Okura says, is his name Jarvis because he's AI? Oh my gosh. Now I need to go play back that scene. Did he sound like AI? Okay. Be Ready said, well, you were there, Be Ready. Be Ready says, I was there at our live show electronically. Shout out to everyone that got the live stream. Okay, we appreciate you. Yeah, so you know the tea. I'm gonna clip that and post what we spilled during that show back in September. Right, it was September, right? When we had the show. When did we have? No, it was March. No. We had a show in September, but then we had one in March. What? I couldn't remember. I was like, when was that? Who said that? I couldn't remember. But look, we had multiple shows. All right, let me say thank you because we had quite a few super chats as well. And then we'll get into the next scene. If you just joined us, guys, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Jesse says, bonjour from Paris. Might be early, but how do you think Kay is going to handle the reunion, especially when facing Andy and his questions? Well, how do you think she handled his questions last night on Watch What Happens Live? I think she should be more worried about Porsha. I will give Porsha her credit from the reunion, the last reunion. Porsha came in and she handled that reunion. I'm worried for Kay for this reunion. I'm really worried for Kay. NASA, thank you so much for the super chat. NASA says, is it me or does it feel like Shamea's marriage is contingent on her having a son? A lot of people were saying that on social media when I pointed out that. We're going to get to that in a second. NASA says, as a Nigerian, I am aware it's a big cultural expectation to have a son to continue the family name. And he's Kenyan, right? And a lot of people on social media were saying that, it's because he's African, so this is very typical. I'm not surprised that he wants a son. But first of all, there's been so many health complications with this situation. I just don't know. I'm looking at Shamea, I'm like, girl, like, is this the storyline that you want? My thing is he wants his son, but he's not even willing to show up for you on camera. Lord. But okay, this is what happens. People get mad at, and I'm not even saying get mad at me. People get mad on social media about people commenting about what's given to us on a reality show. I'm not going to be mad. I mean, if you're disrespectful, that's one thing, but I'm not going to be mad at people for having an opinion about people's marriage that they decide to talk about on a reality show. You came on this reality show. People are going to have an opinion about your marriage. Nelly, thank you so much for being a member and for the $20 super chat. Thank you. Happy belated birthday, Kempire. Been busy, but enjoying the season with RHOA. Thank you, Nelly. I understand. Everybody's got things going on, and you're probably off of work, right? I know. Sana, thank you so much for the super chat. Sana says, please say cucumber. Why? Why would you want me to say that? I shouldn't have said it. Why did you want me to say that? That's weird. That's suspicious. Why did you want me to say that? He's 64 years old. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Remember, we talked about that the other day. He's in his 60s. Gerald's in his 60s. You know, the bald head makes you look a little bit more youthful. Okay, we'll get to the Gerald of it all in just a second. Before we do, though, you know it's Memorial Day, and of course we've got our sponsor here for you today, Boll & Branch. You guys are always complimenting me on my skin, and it's because I take care of my skin. But it's not just about diet. It's not just about the products that you use. But what about your bedding? What about the place that you spend probably most of your time where your skin is being touched by it? It's your sheets. And one of the things that I've invested in is quality sheets where I lay my head. Some people don't even think about this when it comes to their skincare. And your skincare is not just about your face. It's about your entire body. So I'm excited about Boll & Branch being a sponsor for today's live because they have quality sheets. Boll & Branch bedding, from their organic cotton sheets to their breathable pillows and comforters, is made with ultra clean materials that are gentle on the skin and free from harsh chemicals. Their fabrics are breathable, soft, and temperature regulating, so you're not overheating or tossing and turning. Because some of why you can't sleep at night is because of your sheets. When your entire bed is made with better materials, it supports the kind of sleep that actually helps your skin recover overnight. A lot of people start with the signature sheets and then add the matching pillowcases and a waffle blanket. I've been loving their sheets, their waffle blanket, but specifically, I forgot the color. I think it's like a taupe that I got. Oh, I'm loving it against my skin. I really am. Because the combination makes the whole bed feel softer and cooler. It's one of those upgrades where you notice the difference the very first night. But of course, as I said to you guys before, I've been trying it out for the last few nights, and I'm enjoying, first of all, it feels luxurious. Even the presentation on how they sent me the waffle sheet and the sheet set, I was like, okay, first of all, presentation is phenomenal. There are birthdays coming up. There are holidays coming up. This would be a fantastic gift to give to someone that you love, even yourself. And one of the things, and I've talked about this before, about pouring into yourself, it was just my birthday. Getting luxurious sheets, new sheets, fresh sheets on your bed that feel comfortable, that are, especially with how up and down the weather has been here in New York City, and I'm sure other cities where you guys are watching from, these sheets are perfect. They're cooling, they're comfortable, they're luxurious. Get into it. As always, you know there's a holiday coming up, and I've gotten you a discount. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping during the Memorial Day sale at bollandbranch.com/Kempire with code Kempire. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/Kempire with code Kempire to get 20% off. bollandbranch.com/Kempire. Code Kempire. Exclusions apply. More information on Boll & Branch. Today's live sponsor will be available in the description. Thanks, Boll & Branch. That just reminded me that I will also want to take advantage of this deal. It is Memorial Day, guys, so this is your opportunity. Last chance. I just remind myself, like, oh, there's some sheets, because I've been loving the sheets. Now I'm like, I need to get some sheets as well, some more additional sheets. D, I love hearing this. D says, as an interior decorator, Boll & Branch is my preferred vendor for my clients' bedrooms. Okay. Proof is in the pudding. As an interior decorator, okay, quality sheets. And like I said before, when they sent the sheets to me, the presentation were amazing. So if you're looking for a good gift, that is a great gift too, to give to someone that maybe that just moved into a new place, maybe it was someone's birthday. Just saying. All right. Okay. All right. Sanaa is explaining why. Sanaa says the Jamaicans I met say cucumber so differently. I grew up here, so I don't, but I do know that Jamaicans say certain words like vegetables very differently. Vegetables. Sanaa says they say cucumber, not cucumber. You know what? This feels like harassment. This feels like you're attacking my people. All right, everyone jumper. Like everyone jumper in the chat. The Coco Cure says, and probably married her, meaning Shamea, because he thought that having kids would be easier for her since she was young. But now Shamea is 40-something years old. That's not young, especially when having children. Okay, I don't know. We're gonna get to it in a second. J.I. says, I did not do well on Watch What Happens Live. Andy called her, in regards to K. Michelle, Andy called her out for wanting the oyster scene scrubbed. Then she said that she was the reason it was brought up. Andy was kind of looking at her like, this woman might be a little off, but he likes a little off, okay? He likes a little off for his reality shows. All right. Okay, T says, we said cucumber. You leave us alone, okay? All right, moving along. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well to show up. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Look, I'm working on Memorial Day. Do I get time and a half? Nope. Oh, my God. No. I don't get time and a half, so give me some likes, all right? Run me some super chats. It's okay. At least give me some likes, all right? All right. We already have almost 2,000 of you in here, and we're not even at 500 likes. That's the least y'all could do. Just saying, it's free. All right? Exactly. Wave Key says crazy makes good TV. Yeah, Tammy, Shamea is 44 years old. She just had a birthday. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about K. Michelle and Dr. Caston. So Dr. Caston and K. Michelle go to the dentist. Okay. And Caston says that when K. Michelle is in his office, I guess in Tennessee, she makes him nervous. And these are the moments that I can appreciate K. Michelle. Like these little moments they're just funny. So he says, you make me nervous when you're in my office. She's like, "Aw." He's like, "Not aw." He's like, "That's a good thing that she makes him nervous." Okay. So K. Michelle says that she's been very calm around the group and that she's trying to present herself in a certain way. And that's apparently been the problem for K. Michelle this season, is that she's trying to be something that she probably isn't, or she's not being herself. Not sure. She says that she mentions the plot and the scheme to Phaedra 3 days earlier during this pottery situation. Phaedra says that she knew about the black conversation, and again, we have to remember we're watching an edited show, because part of me was sort of like, what exactly did Phaedra know about the black conversation? Did she know that it was a plot, that Drew was coming to K. Michelle and trying to throw K. Michelle under the bus about black? This is what I'm wondering, because all we see is Phaedra say, "Oh, I knew about the black conversation." That could be a variety of different things. But she says that she has no idea about what else, this other plot and scheme that K. Michelle's talking about. And now she's like, now I'm the boogeyman? You're saying that I was involved in the plot as well? But somehow she's let Phaedra go. K. Michelle says that she's able to deal with Phaedra because Phaedra knows when to tap out. Tap out of what? So she's like, it turns me on that you know not to play with me. K. Michelle got a little bit, but it might make for great reality television. Something ain't right with Kimberly. She's like, it turns me on. Look, it turns me on. You know not to play with me. Okay, fine. I feel like you don't want to play with Phaedra. And I said this before. She keeps talking about a plot and a scheme, but she keeps pointing out how she's done research. And I get it. There's been a lot of stuff online about some of these women and what's been playing on the show. And clearly she was a fan of the show because she was in Andy's DM saying, I would make a good Atlanta housewife. So, of course, she knows some stuff, but she keeps bringing up the stuff that she knows about this group. So it says to me, like, are you the one plotting and scheming? Because it feels more like you're plotting and scheming. It feels more like, K. Michelle, you're the amateur when it comes to reality television. And you've been doing reality television probably a lot longer than a lot of these people. But okay. So it turns me on that you know not to play with me. So she's letting Phaedra go. Apparently her and Phaedra are cool. All right. All right. So she then says they're in the dentist's office because she talks about Dr. Caston and his medical assistant. They see the medical assistant in the dental assistant in this one. She's like, you couldn't be his dental assistant. And then I thought to myself, well, we just saw you say in a recent interview this week, in the Club Shay interview, that you're okay with Dr. Caston sleeping with other women. Yeah, she said that. She says, as long as he's not paying their bills. Okay. Nothing that K. Michelle really talks out two sides of her face. She really does. Because it's like, and again, could it be a Pisces thing? You just start making up stuff. A lot of times I feel like she just starts running with a narrative. You know those kids that lie just to lie? I feel like that's who K. Michelle is. She just starts saying stuff. and she's like making up the story as she goes along. So she says she's okay with him sleeping with other people as long as they're not paying the bills. As long as he's not paying their bills. So then she also talks about Dr. Caston and his big schlong. I know a lot of y'all thinking, oh, so that must be the reason why she's with him. I don't know. I don't know if honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I even believe that's a thing. It could be a thing. I'm not saying that it's not, but I don't know. And for someone that seems so jealous about him and him not, claiming you or staying with you or, getting married to you. Tiara says, no, Kempire, don't blame the Pisces. We are not crazy like that. I didn't say that y'all were crazy, but y'all got a lying problem. Just saying, okay? But anyway, back to this. Focus, y'all. So T says, I don't believe her. King says it's a King B says it's a Pisces thing. It doesn't make sense at all. Laughing out loud. But the Pisces are not going to take ownership of it, so let's move on, okay? Way of Keith says, ain't no schlong that big. Oh, Way of Keith. Because on Watch What Happens Live, she made it seem like his thing is so big that it's like down to his knee. And in his scrubs that he ends up wearing, that it reveals his. I don't care. Honestly, Kay, you think he's a prize, but the rest of the world don't. Okay, but fine. You should think your man is the prize. We don't. Okay, we don't care. Even if he has the biggest thing in the world, don't care. Okay, but fine. Exactly. Unhealed Pisces. She's definitely unhealed Pisces. Her and the other one, but we ain't gonna mention the other one. All right, let's move on from this scene because get away from me with this. All right. So then we have this scene with Phaedra, Angela, Drew, and Porsha at lunch. Okay. Angela, you are delivering like no one else this season. I need the fashion to get it together. And I think it's because people online, Phaedra, saying that you look older. No, I don't know what you're doing with the hair and the dresses this season. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't listen to them. I would much rather you dress grown and sexy than these little mini skirts that you're wearing this season. You don't need to do all of that. I'm not loving Angela's style this season, but you're delivering in every other aspect, right? She's delivering in every other aspect, but the styling, like the hair and the short dresses, and I'm just like, and look, I'm not saying she can't wear it. She got body, yada, yada, yada. Don't get me wrong. It just doesn't seem, it seems like a different Angela, the looks this season, but that's me. All right. Winter says, I really like Angela, the dark. I do like a darker wig on her. The blonde wigs, they kind of wash her out. Whoever's doing the makeup, I don't like it. Look, I don't like it, but it's fine. Yeah, look, Tiara says her foundation or skin was also not good. I think it's the foundation. That's me. Oh, wait a second. Alexandra says Sandy Springs equals health conscious. So they're a little bit more healthy over there. Oh, that makes sense. That does make sense. All right. All right. When we were talking about why Sandy Springs Chicken and Waffles wasn't doing well. So she says they're a little bit more health conscious over there. Okay. I know that's right. Okay. All right. So Phaedra says that Angela's looking more youthful. All right. And she also saved her from the horse. So they're in a better place. All right. Phaedra says that K. Michelle, because she had that pottery situation with K. Michelle, and she says that K. Michelle thinks that Porsha and Drew are behind a scheme. Porsha's like, huh? Porsha says that it's the voices in K's head. She says it's the voices in K's head, and we've been saying that these last couple of episodes. So Porsha's like, what scheme? She's like, it must be the voices in her head. Porsha says that she was actually plotting on K's happiness. Okay, she's like, am I the problem? Am I the... And then Drew chimes in and says, am I the drama? Drew looked really cute. Phaedra looked like that lady from, Poison Ivy? She looked like that. I didn't like the red hair with the green dress. I didn't like that. Porsha looked really cute. I like the little short hair on Porsha. Drew looked really adorable in her outfit, her little pants, upside down pants outfit. She looked really cute. Yeah. But anyway, so they're all like talking about Kay, like what is she talking about? Is it the voices in her head? I am actually starting to believe that. Okay. And then Drew says, am I the drama? But Miss Alex says Drew been looking good. She's gotten her fashions together. Remember her first season? Her first season was a mess. Drew has gotten her fashion together. And this is what I'm hoping for Angela. Because if Angela gets her fashion together, it's a game changer. It's a wrap for the rest of these ladies. All right. Oh, damn. Catherine says, I wouldn't open a Chicken and Waffles in Atlanta because it's everywhere. I'm sick of seeing them. Damn. Katrina said, well, damn. Apparently there's a market for it, though. Her other location is doing well in McDonough. But isn't McDonough pretty far out from Atlanta? Isn't that really like far? Goodbye. I'm seeing y'all comments. Let me not look at the comments. Let me look here. Let me look here in the eyes. Guys, you're just joining us. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Don't forget, you can hear an audio version, a cleaned up, edited down version for our podcast. Are you subscribed to our podcast? You subscribe today, and when you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, because reviewing the podcast matters. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our free, because I think it's important for me to emphasize this, because not everything you got to pay for here, y'all. It's free of joining our podcast, but also joining Kempire's Inner Circle. Shout out to those of you that have joined the Inner Circle, because you're getting all the exclusive tea. My Mexico City birthday trip, you got all the day-by-day situations. So if you don't want to miss out on what we're spilling over there, join our mailing list. Head on over to thekempire.com/join. You have to go exactly to that link, thekempire.com/join. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the YouTube live chat poll, pinned comment. Go join, because you're missing out. That's where I'll be announcing things, exclusives, sales, things like that. All right. Anyway, back to this. So this next scene, Porsha at home with Miss Diane and Lawrence. So Porsha's got a surprise for PJ. She goes down to have a conversation with Miss Diane. I can't help, anytime I see Miss Diane, especially on a white couch, I'm like, I'm just happy she's not sitting there with a pizza. All right. Shania says, yes, McDonough is not close to Atlanta. I remember, because wasn't Mariah's podcast studio located in McDonough? And you guys, that's when you guys told me, it was like, oh, it's pretty far from Atlanta. I was like, oh, all right. All right. Moving. Does she still have that, Mariah? I'm assuming so. Congratulations to Mariah. Didn't her son graduate too recently? I don't know if that was, I feel like that was a while ago, but I know her daughter recently graduated and she had a party for her daughter. All right, Tilly says McDonough is about 45 minutes from city. I guess 45 minutes is not really far, especially in Georgia when you guys drive everywhere. But anyway, back to this. Miss Diane eating pizza on the white couch. Oh, wait, she wasn't. She was just sitting there chilling. Where is Miss Diane living now? Because you know Porsha sold her house, meaning she sold the house that she was living in before and then put her mom in it, and now she sold that. So where is Miss Diane living now? Is she living in this house? She seemed very comfortable. Shoes off, relaxing. I mean, all she needed was the pepperoni pizza. She was very relaxed. I mean, that's her mom. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I'm just asking, where is she? Miss Parker says, white couch plus pepperoni pizza equals Miss Diane. Let's not talk about pepperoni pizza. I could go for some right now. I love a good pepperoni pizza. Anyone else? Oh, just me? Just me? Okay. Very Fiery says, pizza, we won't forget. We won't. Legend. Icon. Legend. All right. Moving on. Moving on from there. So Porsha is planning a surprise for PJ. She says that she's trying to get the snakes out of their lives, and PJ wants to bring the snakes in. Okay. Porsha talks about Mike flying in for the girls' trip, and he was hanging out with the other husbands, and they were having a good time. And she was like, she was not trying to be laid up with Mike during this girls' trip. She was like, those are the husbands. Like, you're not my husband. Here's the thing. Porsha, and I said this last week during our recap, Porsha claimed that Mike could only come into town for 2 hours, and I think she only paid him for 2 hours. Okay? So he also was not going to be laid up. Then they say that Mike is checking for Porsha. She hasn't gotten back to him in 3 days. He's reaching out to Lauren. Porsha hasn't gotten back to me in 3 days. So he sends a mariachi band. I don't believe that story with Mike. She had more chemistry in the scene with Sway than she ever did with Mike. Okay? And maybe because Mike is an actor. Is Mike's job an actor? Can someone let me know and can confirm? Because is Mike's job an actor? Because if his job exclusively is an actor, Porsha was never going to date him seriously anyway. Okay. We already know Sway got the beauty suite business, things like that. Apparently, a bunch of people know Sway in Atlanta. Ben had this business, whatever. You saw the ice on Sway's hand as well. So Sway is more male, female. It doesn't matter. Sway got the money for the honey, okay, for the peach juice, okay. Is Mike's job an actor? He's an actor by profession. Thank you, Sanazo. Yeah, so Porsha was never going to take him seriously. Okay, baby, that's exactly what I said on X last night. I think production set up the mariachi band, the band, and then all of a sudden Dennis is just showing up to your house unannounced. Y'all did that for a moment. Y'all doing this for a scene. Y'all doing this for a storyline. I don't believe the Mike of it all. I don't. I really don't. So, because first of all, would you be okay with your baby's father just randomly showing up to your mansion? No. In the mariachi band, that was all Porsha or production. I don't believe Mike has the funds. Can we talk? Nope, he don't. He sent those roses that didn't have his name on it. No, I remember I called that out. Their interaction feels very fake and phony. Did I call that out? Yes. Now all of a sudden, Porsha's not responding to his text messages because you don't have the funds, sir. And then all of a sudden, he sent a mariachi band. No. Dennis is randomly showing up to your house. What, to cause a scene? So they probably cut it out in regards to Dennis's reaction when he shows up, because they're probably trying to do that whole, Dennis is acting jealous. It's weird. Why would your baby's father be acting jealous when you were just married to a whole other African? And now you're living in the African's house. It's weird. It's stupid. I don't know who came up with this, but here we are. But anyway. So they had the mariachi band. Apparently, Mike sent it. Whatever. Terry says, Porsha, hilarious and a liar. Exactly. She is. Both. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's move on from there because I can't with this conversation. So Lauren ends up having a conversation with Porsha about choosing between Mike and Sway. Mike wants to have children. That's a deal breaker for Mike. So why are you even considering this man? Oh, because of the big arms? Oh, no, because of the contract? I don't know. Whatever. Porsha says that Sway confronted her about her, who is she dating and that kind of thing. Porsha says that that Mike wants to have babies, and that's a deal breaker for him. But Lauren says Sway also wants to have babies, but Sway can carry those babies. And then she was like, would you use someone else's eggs? And Porsha was just like, huh? And she's like, and then she starts looking. This was funny for me though. When Porsha was looking at Lauren's ovaries, she's like, let's look at that. She's like, oh, I don't have much eggs left. She was like, you got one for me. You got one for me. I thought that scene, I think that moment was probably the best moment of that entire scene. I could care less about the conversation about Mike, the mariachi band, or Dennis. I could care less about any of that. The conversation about the eggs, that was a cute, funny scene for me between those two sisters. Do you think, does Porsha want to have more kids? Porsha had a hard time having children. Do you think Porsha wants to have more children? Do you think that's going to be a storyline? Oh, wait a second. They could technically have a baby. I mean, they could have a baby all kinds of different ways. They could use Sway's eggs. And doesn't Porsha have a brother? Right? Her brother with the same father and mother. Right? They could do that. I mean, look, you know me, when they start talking about the whole baby stuff, I'm like, I feel like we should start normalizing a conversation instead of all these little tricks and dips that people do with, the medical stuff. There's adoption. There's so many black babies that need homes. Let's add that to the conversation. I think she should do that, honestly. If Porsha really wants to have another children, I think she should just adopt on her own. Just saying. Or do you think she should have another? Look, not me giving them an idea for next season. Maybe she should have another baby with Dennis, but they don't have to have sexual relations. They can just do it the IVF way. Oh, maybe. Ooh, look. Maybe instead of using her brother's semen, she could use Dennis's semen. So that way Pilar would be related to the baby. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Which is exactly adoption awareness. Audie says, when are you adopting? Me? Who ever said I was adopting or was in the market for a baby? Are you asking me? I am not in the market for a baby. I am the baby. Wah. That's what I was thinking. Look at us giving a storyline to them next season. Don't be surprised. Yes, I think Sway's going to get renewed for next season. And then they're going to be trying to have a baby. Dennis is going to be the donor, or that's going to be the conversation. Someone says Dennis is not going to want to be involved. Dennis always wants to be involved, even if it's just a narrative. So here we are. All right. Okay. Exactly. Little Miss Sunshine, I'm in the market for a billionaire. I am the baby. I'm the sugar baby. Okay. I'm the sugar baby. Okay. All right. And Soraya says Kemp already adopted all of us. You're right. All right. I got enough babies. Exactly. Soraya says Kemp got over 575 babies. All right. Already got a lot of babies. Kempire, that plot line is giving Passions circa 2000. Remember Passions? Passions was on for a hot second. I tried to get into it, but I was like, this show is stupid. It's a soap opera, guys, from back in the day, for those that don't know what Passions was. It was produced by Aaron Spelling, Passions. Wasn't it produced by Aaron Spelling? I can't remember. May he rest in peace. He gave us a lot of great television. SW says, Kemper, agree. You just gave them a whole season, if not two. Damn. Yeah, that's going to be next season. All right. Okay, hold on. God's Child says Mike is Country Wayne's top producer. Mike has a staff of actors. Here's the thing, though, and we've talked about this before. I'm not saying that he don't have a bit of a coin. However, acting doesn't pay a lot, especially for black actors. Just saying, we literally we're talking about this with Taraji P. Henson. Acting, you can make some money, but it's not paying. It's not the money that Porsha wants. He can't buy that $7 million mansion. All right. Anyway, moving on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting the channel. We already have over 2,300 of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. I will be dropping the call link for members that want to call in and share their thoughts. Shout out to those of you that are members, have been members for a very long time. I love seeing your member badges in the live chat or in the comment section. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. Okay? Hold on. All right, so let me move on because I've digressed. So the animal trainer comes and pulls out a snake. Look, I mean, I just know Simon Guobadia is watching this, and he's just like, they all up in my house. Miss Diane with the pepperoni pizza on my white couch. Now she's bringing snakes into the house. I need them to randomly, I thought they would, and I know I'm usually against all the graphics and the effects and stuff like that, but I kind of wish, it doesn't have to be every episode, but randomly, mid-season editors, I know you watch. Shout out to the editors, post-producers that watch. I know you're watching. Randomly at the end of the season or somewhere in the middle of the season, in Porsha's house, I need the ghost of Simon to run through again. Just a surprise, not next week's episode, maybe in a couple weeks. Just as a surprise, okay? I need a random Simon Guobadia to run through the room. Please? Sanaa says Simon is behind you. I really was like, wait, that's scary. Anyway. Buddy says the way you say Simon Guobadia's name takes me out every time. That's how it's said. That's how you pronounce it. Right, Simon? I just know it's got a... Oh, I know he's mad as hell because he's so used to, being the one to get over on people. See, that was a sweet way of saying it. Y'all saw how I did that? That was a sweet way of saying it. He's so used to getting over on people that now he's sitting over there in Dubai with the other people that are used to getting over on people. With the other folks over there that are used to getting over on people. And he's like watching this show, because he's watching every week. Watching this show, and he's like, this lady got snakes in my house, got men in my house, in my closet, probably in my bed. Now you got a stud. Okay, she's not using that language. She's got this woman. Stacey said, I hope he's mad. I'm just glad he's not coming to the internet with it that much. He was busy fighting with Fallon. Tammy, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. Tammy says, let's not play like they did not look up K. Michelle. I think she's not here. Wait, I think she's not here to stay. The producers are salivating. I am a Pisces, not like her. Never. That's because you're a healed Pisces. Someone said that K. Michelle's an unhinged Pisces. Noda Queen, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Oh, you guys lit up my Super Chats backstage. Thank you. Noda Queen, let me shimmy for the $20. Hold on. I got to add that thing back here to the soundboard. Noda Queen says, this might not be time. Wait, but maybe you can have a pizza party on me for the full corporate experience. Oh, well, thank you, Noda Queen. Happy Memorial Day, Kemp. Thank you. All this pizza talk. Should I have pizza for dinner? I don't feel for pizza, though. I mean, I love a good pizza, but I just don't feel for pizza today. Sanaa, thank you so much. And much love to you from Canada. Thank you, Sanaa. We appreciate you. Sanaa over here talking about the Jamaicans and how we say cucumber. Miss Nubian, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Miss Nubian says, so Kay likes people that are afraid of her and she can intimidate. In regards to the Phaedra comment, apparently, yeah, I think so. Is Kay the bully? Tammy, thank you for another Super Chat. Tammy says, I meant Kay is here to stay. The producers love this. I agree. Like the nuttiness, I don't know if she will want to come back. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you for the Super Chat for being a member. It says, who's getting with him if money not involved, girl? In regards to Dr. Caston? I'm mad that I didn't know who that was you were talking about. Goodbye. Naza, thank you so much for the $20. Let me shimmy. Shimmy. Naza says, on Marriage Boot Camp, which we remember Dr. Caston and K. Michelle were on, there was a scene where she thought a couple was coming for her. However, the couple was mad at production. K. Michelle was still arguing with herself, and Dr. Caston kept having to hold her back. I think I remember that scene. Oh my God, I do remember that scene. I don't know, K. Michelle.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Sanaa, thank you so much for another super chat. Sanaa says, can you tell K. Michelle's hubby to see your... Well, they're not in New York, so probably not. But fine. Miss Fancy Pants, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Miss Fancy Pants says, Sway and Mike are both actors in the same YouTube series, Country Wayne. But Sway also has the beauty suites business. But everybody in Atlanta trying to be a star. We talked about Sway being in those things too. Thank you for another super chat. Let me send me, because by now you must have sent $20, Sanaa. Sanaa says Michael Anthony, professionally known as Mike Bless, is an American actor, writer, producer, and former U.S. Special Forces serviceman based in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, well, thank you. Well, when we're talking about Memorial Day, well, thank him for his services. All right. Thank you, Sanaa, for looking it up. So he's an actor now. But thank him for his service. Thank you, Mike. That's a good-looking man. Don't get me wrong. Carla, thank you so much for the super chat. Carla says Kay is only clinging to Faye because she knows it's not in her best interest. She wants acceptance from the old white ladies. She now claims that the old white ladies know her. She's now claiming that. I don't know about that. I'm sure they do now because of her being on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But okay. I guess she wants that white acceptance. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Where do I want to go from here? There's still so much to talk about when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. So Shamea and Kelly. Okay, what do you guys think of this scene? So Shamea goes to see her old surrogate, who was also Candy's surrogate as well. Shadina, right? Is that how you pronounce her name? But before she goes in to see her, Shamea starts getting emotional and starts crying when she sees Kelly. Here's the thing. I feel like Kelly and Shamea are clinging to each other. Do I think they're friends? Yes. Do I think they're best friends? I don't know about that. I think they're clinging to each other because they probably feel isolated from the group. We don't necessarily see it, but now I'm starting to see it more and more. Like, this is why they're clinging to each other. Kelly can't really film because she can't film with her kids, so her scenes are limited. And she doesn't know what scenes are going to be picked up. So I think this is why Shamea's like, come with me. You know, Gerald doesn't want to film with me. So you come with me to my doctor's appointment. Not doctor's appointment, but, the surrogacy appointment. We can film a scene together. So that way you can be in a scene. So it benefits both of them because Gerald doesn't want to film. Kelly needs to film. So a trauma bond, Tears of Joy says, a trauma bond they have. All right. So moving on from there, apparently Gerald doesn't want to film, so she's filming with Kelly. That's what I wrote. Shamea gets really emotional because they're down to one male embryo. I don't know. Shamea in that scene felt very Tubi. It felt like we're filming a scene because it was so random. Again, a lot could be happening that we're missing, and that's why it felt so inauthentic. And I'm not saying that she doesn't feel a way about this process, but it just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So she gets emotional, and Kelly is trying to comfort her. All right? And she says she's in her feelings because they only have one male embryo. Gerald really wants a boy. They haven't had a conversation about adoption or other alternatives if this next situation doesn't work out. All right. Shamea then talks about what she wants, that Gerald is now... It goes from her talking about the embryos, then she's saying, oh, well, now Gerald's saying that he doesn't like seeing me with another man in acting. And she's like, it blindsided her because he was so supportive of her acting, and now he's making these comments. I don't know. It wasn't making sense to me unless Gerald is the one that's not making sense. And now he's grasping at straws. Like now he's being picky at her. Like, oh, you're acting. You're on this reality show, but you're not giving me my baby boy. I don't know. I saw a lot of people in the comment section on X saying when I pointed out like Gerald doesn't want to film, Gerald wants a boy, da da da, and everyone's like, oh, he's African. This is what I get that. I completely get that. But what I'm saying is that do they not have this conversation? Why are we not talking about this? Why are we? This is an opportunity to teach the audience about culture. Like this is what he wants. This is what he expects. So many people are like, well, he wants to pass his legacy down to a boy, but. Okay, it's also 2026. So I'm also like, okay, why are we not even saying that? Millie says, I think Shamea is making all of this up. For her Tubi movie? I don't know. Singer DSC says, Gerald wants her home barefoot and pregnant. All right. Cassandra says, Gerald sounds like he's building a case to divorce Shamea. You think? Tiara says, not feeling the whole story. It's not making sense to me. Like on one sense, I get it. Culturally, he wants to have a boy, fine. But in the same sense, I'm just like, she's also a 44-year-old woman. You already have 2 daughters with him. And have we not forgotten that it's really up to him to determine the sex of the baby? Do we not know that? But they have 1 male embryo left. And so they're riding to make sure that this one works. Gerald, this is not working out for you because you refuse to film. Because you could spin now people are making up narratives about why you're not filming, what you expect, and that kind of thing. And maybe you do expect these things. But because you're not on camera, you're not filming, people are coming to their own conclusions as to what's going on. Elizabeth says, Gerald 1000% wants a boy. African and Caribbean men love their daughters, but always want a mini them. Well, that's on him. Look. That's on him. All right. Elegant says, simple biology. Well, that's true. Nazza says, African men don't realize it's up to them, unfortunately. Well, I wish them luck. Because there is 1 male embryo situation. So she goes into with Shadina to talk about this, and Shadina's, where's Gerald? He doesn't come to visit me anymore. And she breaks the fourth wall, Shamea, and she's like, he doesn't want to film. He doesn't want to be around these cameras. So why would you come back for another season, Shamea? Why would you come back for another season when you know your husband doesn't want to be filming? It doesn't make sense to me. He doesn't want to be filming. Now people have their own narrative about him and his experience. Before, people used to love Gerald. They're like, oh, he's a nice guy. They're living a fabulous life, da, da, da. You're now in your second season. People are now like, oh, damn, he wants his boy. He's selfish. He's da, 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 blah, 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 blah. And now, why are you back? And again, this is not tourist behavior because tourists value their relationships and their family over everything. But Shamea has always wanted to be famous. And that is what is driving her to be on this show. Thirsty. And you're not even good. It would be one thing if Shamea was actually a really great reality TV personality. And I'd be like, well, she's risking her marriage, but we can laugh and hee. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be one thing if she was a good reality TV personality, and it'd be like, well, like Angela. If it was ruining her marriage and her relationship, I'm like, damn, woo, woo, woo. But we are kikiing and laughing, okay? She's fantastic. But no, girl is just like a terrible reality TV personality. It's affecting her marriage. Stacey says, bingo, ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh. But all right. Bye, girl. You like it. We love it for you. All right. Let's pay the bills. We got sponsors here today. Shout out to our sponsor, RHOA. They're back. Today's live is sponsored by RHOA. I have been loving hearing all of your stories about those of you that have taken advantage already of RHOA being a sponsor here on the channel. You've talked about how it's changed your life, how you've lost weight that you've been trying to lose for a very long time. I'm loving hearing your stories. And a lot of you have also shared how this has allowed you to take advantage of GLP-1s that are actually affordable. A lot of people think that GLP-1s are expensive. However, it doesn't have to be. And our friends over at RHOA allow you a variety of different options on how you can take advantage as well. RHOA has helped a lot of people lose weight. That's why they have the lowest cost options out there, whether you're paying with insurance or cash. RHOA's free insurance checker makes it easy to see if you're covered. Just submit your insurance card and RHOA handles the rest. There's no paperwork, no waiting on hold, and no confusing phone calls. RHOA's free insurance checker will send you a comprehensive report of your coverage details so that you can make a decision that's right for your goals. And most importantly, if insurance doesn't cover your treatment, there are still options. RHOA offers low-cost, cash-pay, FDA-approved GLP-1s, including newer dosage forms like daily pills and multi-dose pens. RHOA offers a multi-month membership option in addition to multi-month medications that help members prepay and save on their GLP-1 medications. Just another way RHOA is working to increase access to life-changing medication. Some other important details when you work with RHOA: their cash pay options ship right to your door. No pharmacy visits required. If you decide to move forward, RHOA can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. That's the difference with RHOA. They're giving you the education that you fully understand what you're taking. When you become a RHOA member, you'll have support throughout the process. You'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Join over the 1,500,000 people who've trusted RHOA on their weight loss journey. If this was an option that I needed, I would have used RHOA. But what I've been loving is hearing all of you that have been using RHOA, even some personal friends that have been using RHOA off of our discount. If you would like to take advantage, here's your opportunity. Go to rho.co/Kempire to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/Kempire to get started on RHOA. Go to rho.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. All information will be available in the description. Thanks, RHOA. Shout out to RHOA for sponsoring today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was a great time for me to go take a potty break. All this water y'all got me drinking. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Happy Memorial Day. If you've already liked the video, thank you. If you haven't, be sure to like the video. If you're watching on your television, you can like there. If you're watching on your phone, you can like there. It supports the channel, but it also allows other content creators to start to show up on your Explorer page, all right? And if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. It is a subscribers-only live chat. And shout out to all of our members. We will be doing a members-only live at some particular point, all right? Noda Queen, thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. Noda Queen says, I don't think Shamea cares to have another child. She just wants to give Gerald what he wants. I think that's what everyone is saying and what everyone is sensing from Shamea this season is that, and from last season, they're sensing that she doesn't want to have another kid. She's doing it for him. Because at no particular point does she say, oh, I also would like to have another kid. She's always putting the onus on him that he wants another baby. And remember what happened with their last baby. It was like a very stressful situation and the health stuff still continues. So I can understand where she's sort of like, this is a lot. So on one level, I definitely want to give Shamea some grace because, you know, she's gone through a lot when it comes to her children. But at the same time, like, girl, get off of reality television and figure that out. Bree says Shamea's cringy. That's why it looks even worse. We already told you what she is, right? When it comes to the cringe factor, she just can't help it. Above It All says, I think this is Shamea's last season. It needs to be honest. Paint These Wings, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, K. Michelle reminds me of Kelly Ben Simone. Nothing those women say makes any sense. Oh, and also a little off. I agree with that, Paint These Wings. A little off, right? Miss V. Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss V says, last episode when Dr. Caston showed up on screen at the party, my husband asked if he got in a fight before. My husband asked if he got in a fight beforehand. I guess he needs butter. That is hilarious. Did he get into a fight beforehand? Miss V. Tammy, thank you for another super chat. Tammy says Gerald never wanted to film. That is why she was never on. He wanted to settle down and have a traditional wife. And he married the wrong one. She's never wanted to be traditional. This is why it's important to pay attention to people's actions than what they tell you. Because her actions, from the time she was a little girl, she's been trying to pursue being famous. Carla, thank you so much for the super chat. Carla says, Shamea doesn't seem happy and wants a life similar to Porsha. Oh, God. From the BBL needs to have businesses, attention-seeking tactic. It's cringe. She's not going to beat those allegations that she's trying to beat Porsha. She really is not. If you're a senior royal, I did drop the call link for you guys already. I'm not done with our recap. Royal Court members, I'll be dropping the call link for you guys in a second. And Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping it for you in a little bit after that. And shout out to everyone watching on X, those of you watching on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch. I hear that I look even crispier and sound even crispier on Twitch. So make sure you're following me on Twitch, the Kempire on Twitch. And we are, of course, streaming live on YouTube. So shout out to our YouTube family. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, you should. We're always creating content there as well. Make sure you also follow me on TikTok. I'll probably go live this evening on TikTok to talk more about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So make sure you're following me there at the Kempire on TikTok. Makai says, yes, I prefer you on Twitch Cam. Well, damn. Fine. All right. Let me open up my notes back to what we were talking about when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shamea has that conversation in regards to Gerald not wanting to film. She says that they haven't even considered purchasing eggs and that she wouldn't want to use her sister's eggs because she would like that would feel weird. They haven't even had these conversations. So everything is relying on this one male embryo that's left. I'm guessing later in the season we'll have a better idea as to what's going on. All right. No, Gerald's not 74, y'all. Gerald's in his 60s, though. He's quite older. I didn't realize how much older he was than she was. I guess I never really thought about it because, again, they weren't on reality television. All right. Then we get the scene with Kelly and her daughter, Chloe. You know, her daughter, Chloe, has gone off to college. She's the only daughter that's not her ex-husband's. And the ex-husband apparently basically is done with her now that he's divorced her mom. And mind you, Chloe's been in his life since she was a little girl. So apparently he's done with her. So Kelly came up with a college agreement, some just, rules for while Chloe's away at college. You do not have to worry about Chloe in college. Chloe is a Taurus. Remember we figured that out? Her daughter's a Taurus. You don't have to worry about Chloe in college. She will be just fine. She doesn't need an agreement, okay? I wish Chloe luck because having you as a mama, though. And I'm not coming for your mama's skill, but I'm just talking about you being a Pisces. Just saying. So Chloe says she wants to add a car to the agreement. Chloe, if you don't get away from me with this, you know what your mother's going through when it comes to her finances, okay? But kids never think of that. Kids, even if you tell them I don't have it, kids don't think about that. They're like, but can I get a car? Can I get a car? Poor thing. And then you know what? I'm sure Kelly wants to give her everything because you remember last season Kelly gave her like every purse made to man. She gave her all these different gifts for her birthday. So wouldn't shock me that Kelly does feel bad that maybe she can't afford to do some of the things she would like to do for her daughter. But fine. So this was like a non-scene, to be honest with you, because she also talks about what's going on with the new restaurant and how the new restaurant's doing. Yeah, so I definitely think Kelly might be struggling. If Kelly can't film with her kids next season, I can see Kelly not coming back next season. And if she does come back, it would probably be... Kurt says, Kempire, let us Pisces breathe. Sorry. So sorry. And look, I should go a little lighter on the Pisces because you guys are very sensitive. Okay? Thank you so much. Fox Demona says supporting you on here and on YouTube, on Twitch. They're watching. Shout out to Twitch fam. All right. Sherry says cars are expensive now. I mean, gas is expensive right now. But they live in Georgia, so she needs a car. All right. Let's move on. I just wanted to mention that scene. Porsha and Sway go on a date. All right. So apparently Porsha has known Sway for a long time. I feel like a lot of people in Atlanta know each other. They may not be friends, they may not have dated, but they've known each other a long time just from different events and things like that. Okay? So apparently they met a long time ago, but Porsha ghosted Sway, like got Sway's number and never called Sway. And that was around the time that she was dating Dennis. And Dennis was acting up, so that's when she said, I'm gonna get my comeback on Dennis. All right. So Sway asked Porsha if she can honestly see herself with a woman. And look, shout out to all the lesbians, because I know the lesbians, sometimes they fall in love with these straight girls. I'm not saying that Porsha is straight. I don't know what Porsha is. I don't know how she identifies. But, not the... Tools for Life says Marta runs near Spelman. What's Marta? What's Marta? Is that a form of transportation? Lord. Oh, Superstar 7 says, we don't really need to see Kelly with her kids on the show, to be honest. But production would like to have that. But anyway. So apparently, Sway's asked Porsha, can she see herself really with a woman? Because as I said before, I feel like a lot of lesbians, they end up falling in love with these straight women and then they get their hearts broken. And based off of Porsha's track record, I could see that potentially happening for Sway. So... Sway asked that question, and Porsha's like, did you just propose? Porsha can never be serious. Porsha's like, did you just propose? And Sway starts giggling like, maybe I did. But no, it's a good question to ask. Oh, Marta is a public transportation. That's what I figured. Oh, Marta is Atlanta's public transportation. Thank you, Lonnie. Yeah, I figured as much. I know y'all are terrible. Not Marta runs right to the smell, but y'all are terrible. Is it a good transportation system? Lord have mercy. Oh, y'all are our best. Poor Chloe. Can't Chloe get a car? Can't Chloe get a car, please? She didn't say she wanted a Mercedes-Benz. It could be a nice little Toyota. Toyotas are very reliable. So, Namaste Jay says, Kelly better go to the auction to get the car? Okay. Moving on. Let's move on from this. So Porsha can never be serious. So Porsha's like, did you just propose? But Porsha says that she's exploring, but she's also dating and exploring with a man as well. You saw Sway's face. Sway's face was like, you're dating a man? Yeah, she was dating men before this. So Porsha says she isn't taking Sway as a joke. So she is saying that she is open to having a serious relationship with Sway. Based off of what you guys watched in this moment, I have to say this was a more believable scene than her scenes with Mike. But maybe Sway is just a better actor. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. Oh, T says, exactly, Kemp. A $5,000 isn't going to hurt Kelly's pockets. Look, I ain't say all that. It might hurt her pockets. Remember, she doesn't have $50,000 in regards to child support. She's got lawyers to pay. It might hurt her pockets. I don't know. But I also understand as a person in college in Georgia, she would like to not be riding Marta and be in her own car. All right? Can Chloe get her own car, y'all? She can't afford it right now. But I understand. She probably wants to be able to do that for her daughter. So Porsha says she's not taking Sway as a joke. Tools for Life says they have chemistry. Teach says they had genuine chemistry. Right? So it wasn't just me. I was like, but then I said to myself, well, maybe Sway's just a better actor than Mike. Okay, Sway could probably do something else other than Tyler Perry. Just saying. Anyway. Tears of Joy says, I like Sway and Porsha. They're cute together. All right. That's why they have auditions, y'all. Not everyone's going to have chemistry. This is why they have auditions. Okay. All right. Oh my God. Speaking of Ashley, someone just mentioned Ashley Darby in the comment section. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at the next BravoCon, especially because now Porsha is dabbling in the lady pond. I wouldn't be surprised if Ashley tries to push up on Porsha. Y'all know she is. Y'all know she's gonna be flirt. Even if she just does it on a panel, she's like, "Oh, I hear you in the lady pond." Oh, she's so gross. Oh, and she's back next season. I haven't heard anything about her though. I did hear about some other stuff. Ooh. Anyway, moving on. Okay, focus. All right, focus. Elle Singleton, you agree? Yeah. Kemp, I feel Sway is another paid actress so Pete can have a storyline. Miss Alex says, Kempire, I'm eating. Please. Sorry, I did not. I'm sorry. I should have given you guys a trigger warning. But I had that thought, random thought. So can you imagine how I feel on an empty stomach? Can you imagine how I feel on an empty stomach? Think about me. At least you're eating, all right? I have to perform for you guys. So is that not Pennywise? Lord have mercy. Exactly. T says, hold on. Not Megamind. Megamind definitely would try peach juice. Oh, without a doubt. I would try peach juice because Porsha's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. She's a beautiful woman, so I wouldn't be surprised. But you know Ashley. You say lesbian one time, or you look at her the wrong way, all of a sudden Michael Darby comes out of her. All right. Let me move on. So they end up having this conversation about that. Porsha, Sway would like to have a child. Sway reveals that, but also adds that she would carry the child. All right, and she would like to do that in the next year, she says, just in time for season 18. All right. So Porsha talks about her relationship with Dennis because, a lot of people want to know about their relationship. She's like, Dennis is perfectly fine when I'm single, but when I'm in a relationship is when he starts acting weird. But she's like, nothing's going on between her and Dennis. So why is he acting weird when you're in a relationship? That's weirdo behavior. Like, I understand he's your baby's father, but that's weird. And especially because you're not spinning it into a narrative like, oh, he's acting this way because he's worried about who I'm having around Pilar. It's more about you than it is about his daughter. But okay. Mr. Melody says, Kemp, you would try peach juice, not you dipping your toenail in the lady pond. I mean, that's all I would do is dip the toe. Okay? That's all I would do. Dip the toe. I'd be like, all right. And when I say dip the toe, meaning I would look. I'd be like, oh. And when I say look, I mean I would look at Porsha's booty. I'm not looking at, if Porsha starts giving herself a whole bath, if Porsha starts giving herself a whole bath in front of me, and because I'm gay, she probably be like, yeah, she's probably doing all of this. I would blush and walk out the room. I'd be like, I don't need to see all of that. I don't want to see, like, my friends don't show me their breasts and stuff like that just because I'm gay. I don't want to see none of that. That is offensive. I don't want to see that. Don't be giving yourself a whole bath in front of me. No. Please, keep that to yourselves. I'm not interested, but still, I don't want to see it either. Okay? Don't be giving yourself a whole bath in front of me. First of all, I'm also going to judge you. Like, why are you giving yourself a whole bath? Jump in the shower. Put on a wig cap. Why are you giving yourself a whole bath? Because then I'm judging you. I'm like, And then when we're at the club together and we party and we dipping it and we doing it, we bouncing. And I see you talking to that guy. I'm like, if he only knew. See, this is why I will stay blocked. Okay? Now we at the club, we dipping it and doing it. Just dipping it and doing it. She talking to a guy or a girl. I don't know. She over there, I'm like, she just gave herself a whole bath. See, this is why I don't deal with women. This is why I don't deal with women. You over there in the whole bath. That whole bath wasn't that clean. Just... So for those of you that do that, please know I'm judging you. But I already told you too. I was like, technically, my girlfriends could probably give themselves a whole bath in my bathroom because I got a bidet. I feel like a bidet would be more better than her taking it with the rag in the bathroom in front of us. I feel like my bidet would be a lot more thorough. Just saying. Look. Oh, here you go. So what did Brandy say? Brandy said, hold on. Brandy, beautiful picture and beautiful smile. Brandy says, what's wrong with a whole bath? That's the point, to hit your hot spots. Look. No. Look. Juliana says, mind you. Look, you know it's funny when my back of my head starts tightening. Hold on, let me relax because y'all making me laugh too much. Julieta says, mind your business, Kempire. Don't let me go to the club. You did a whole bath in my bathroom. And then we went to the club and you flirt with people, talking to people. I was like, Maybe because as a tourist, no, just as a person, but also as a tourist, maybe because we're very sense prone, us tourists, I'm very big on smells, like good smells. Like if you smell funny, breath, nether regions, it's rap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Just saying. Oh, damn. Now that's talking about smells down there. This is your fault, K. Michelle, because now we're going to be talking about that. This is your fault. No one would have talked about this. No one would have associated this if you didn't bring it up. This is your fault. But okay. Stephen says, Kempire, please. I'm just giving you my thoughts. This is my review, okay? I don't know how we ended up on a whole bath again, but here we are. Yeah, Virgos are the same way. It must be an earth sign thing. We're very, very conscious of stuff like that. Anyway, but if you want to take a whole bath in my house, I have a bidet. I think that would be more thorough. Just saying. All right. Moving on. Right? Miss Alex says, Kay gonna think you plotting. It's not my fault. You brought it to the cameras, Kay. You brought it to the cameras. And Andy pointed that out. He's like, it probably wouldn't have gotten brought up if you didn't bring it up. And she was like, I was getting ahead of it. Okay, Kay. Okay. But a little bit Sunshine's kept. My face hurts from laughing. Can you imagine how I feel? Oh, Brandy says, and you know if you smell or not, so act accordingly. I don't think some people do. I could tell y'all some story. Never mind. So that's more Kempire After Dark. Okay. Jiggle, we never said that. Jiggle says whole bath doesn't mean you aren't clean. It just means you didn't submerge, which can cause smells too and pH issues. I get it. We're not going to go down. We've talked about this last week, but we're trying to be funny. So now y'all getting scientific, and this is how y'all ruin jokes. Okay. Now y'all getting scientific, and now the joke is ruined. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Now y'all getting scientific, and now the joke is no longer he, or ha. All right? Now she's getting with the pH balance. That's not how whole baths work. Fine. All right, let's move on. Okay? If you're a senior royal, I've dropped the call link for you guys. Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys next. Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping the call link for you guys in just a moment. Live chat, I'll drop the call link for you guys once we have 2,400 people here. Let's get to 1,100 likes, and I will drop the call link for the general audience. I'm being generous with that, but let's do that, all right? Be Ready says, yeah, I'm a Virgo, and please don't. See? Oh, Christopher says, the girls feel attacked, Ken. I know. Okay, we're going to move on from the whole baths of it all, all right? Let's move on. Let me open my notes. Let me move on from this. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure, maybe I'll talk about whole baths in my next newsletter. Join the newsletter. You're going to be missing out on so much. You already missed out on my birthday trip. I gave like 3 different emails about my birthday trip. And honestly, I was giving tips for my birthday trip. So be sure to check that out. Join our mailing list. There's a link available in the description or in the live chat on YouTube, or you can go to thekempire.com/join. You have to go to that specific link, and that will give you access. It's free. Join our mailing list today. Have we hit 1,000 yet on the mailing list? Let me look. Hold on. We're close, though. Let me see. Have we hit the 1,000 on our mailing list? We should. There's already over 2,500 of you here. So if everyone signed up, again, like I said, it's free. It's free. Okay, we're not at 1,000 yet. We could by today. Tammy says your audience is hilarious. Yes, we just be kikiing and having a good time during our Real Housewives of Atlanta recast. All right, let me focus. The comments right now, if you're a part of the replay crew, I implore you not only just to listen to me, but check the live chat replay, because that will also make you kiki and laugh. Because the live chat replay, because I need to go back and watch it, because I miss a lot of your comments, because we have 2,500 people in the building. So I miss a lot of the comments, but be sure to check out the replay. All right. I'm moving on. Let me go back. All right. So Porsha and Sway, we kind of feeling them. We believe that's a real relationship. Sway's willing to carry the baby. I think they're going to do it for next season, but we shall see. All right. Phaedra is hosting a Healing Waters event. I find it so interesting. You know, people have their critiques of Phaedra, so do I. But I find it interesting that we had a friend of Cynthia host 3 episodes of a girls trip, and she's a friend of the show. Yes, she's a veteran of the show, but she's hosted. Thank you so much, B-Wise. B-Wise says, your emails of your birthday vacation were great. I felt that I was there with you. That was the whole point. Thank you for saying that, B-Wise. And that's the whole point. So join our community. If you want to be a friend in my head for real, this is how you do it. Join the mailing list, thekempire.com/join. All right. So Phaedra's hosting this Healing Waters event. As I said before, I find it interesting. She's hosting an event, but she didn't host a trip. Phaedra really should have been the one to host a trip. Again, she didn't have anything to host, but fine. Phaedra did a tour of her home. Phaedra has a beautiful home. She really does. I could say something nice. She has a beautiful home, beautiful children. Where's her other son? We're seeing Aiden a lot this season, but we're not seeing the vice president. Where is he? Have we seen him at all this season? Does he not want to be on camera? I don't blame him. He's young. But we're seeing a lot of Aiden. Aiden just won his school track meet and things like that. Apollo is there. I see more of Phaedra's real life on social media than I do on this show. Okay. Mr. Mellon Badger says, was Kemp in his shorts in the pictures? I think I was in one of them. I don't remember. Did you not join the mailing list, Mr. Mellon and Magic? Okay. Yeah, Phaedra's home is beautiful. I mean, it's not necessarily my decorating taste, but it's a beautiful home. And I was impressed with how she was able to host this event. She got her pool. She's got her dinner set aside. It's a beautiful home. So Phaedra claims that she's a Reiki master, and she's been a Reiki master for 3 years. And the reason why I say claim is because remember, we talked about this last season, because as a Reiki practitioner, I am a Reiki practitioner, you're supposed to go through 3 levels before you're able to become a master. And she said that she had gone through 2 levels. And I was like, that makes you a Reiki practitioner. I'm not questioning. Maybe since then she's become a Reiki master. I could have become a Reiki master. I just didn't do the last tier. Just saying. I mean, I could become a Reiki master soon, but I practice Reiki all the time. So she says she wants to host the ladies. So she's doing this whole Zen garden thing. The ladies are going to be in the pool and things like that. All right. Porsha arrives and her butt is all out. Remember, some people were saying if Porsha did it, people wouldn't say anything. Well, Porsha came this episode with her booty all out. And then Cynthia said, this reminds me of when Phaedra wore that see-through bathing suit with her thong. It reminded me of what we saw last week with Shamea. Okay? Ms. Parker says, Kempire, you know Mr. Mel and Max joined the bill. That's why I was surprised. Like, you didn't see? You didn't see? All right. Let me find out she's Cheyenne Bryant. Phaedra? Wouldn't shock me either. All right. So Drew arrived. Drew looked cute. I like what Drew had on, her whole look. Drew says, we found out that did she bring this to court? Drew says that she has a condition, but she arrives early for Phaedra's party because she didn't want to be locked out. So Drew says in another scene at the Nana's Chicken and Waffle launch grand opening and grand closing, she says that she has time blindness. So I wrote in my notes, I said, is that admissible in court? Did she bring that to the judge? Because remember, she was accused, and that's why she lost physical custody of her kids to Ralph. She was accused of bringing the kids to school late. She says on the show that she has a condition called time blindness. You know they're going to talk about this during the reunion. She has a condition. All right. She says she has a condition. So in the car, Pinky and K. Michelle are talking. So K. Michelle tells Pinky that she spoke to her ex. Her ex is from Queen's Court. I watched that season of Queen's Court. So I had to remind myself, how did the season end? And I was reminded the season ended with K. Michelle choosing herself. I will say this. I remember watching Queen's Court saying to myself, K. Michelle did not come on this show to find the love of her life. I already knew. But apparently after the show, her and Nosh dated after the show. Okay? Just letting you guys know. On the show, her and Nash did not work out. She chose herself. But apparently after the show, they ended up dating. Okay? But remember, she said she went on the show to make Dr. Caston jealous, to kind of force his hand to marry her. Remember she said that? But anyway. She said she spoke to her ex, Nash. She said she didn't say his name. I'm saying his name because we found out later. The ex apparently had been talking to Porsha and says that Porsha tried to take him public. Do y'all believe that? Look, Porsha is many, many things. But Nash, if you watch Queen's Court, and mind you, this is a man that went on a reality show to date reality TV personalities, also in Atlanta. Read the clues, the context clues. This man went on a reality show to meet a reality TV star, but Porsha was dating him and apparently wanted to take him public. Okay, I don't know if I believe that. And then look, there's a lot of stuff I don't believe from Porsha, but I don't believe that. Okay? I don't believe that. He's thirsty. He was thirsty on Queen's Court too. So I didn't like him on Queen's Court either. I was like, why is she going to choose him? But she didn't choose him. Okay. All right. Nash probably mad that he didn't get the final role to play her boyfriend on the show, probably. His bookie bear says they're reaching and it's sad. Singer GST says, I never watched it. It was actually a good season of Queen's Court. I enjoyed Queen's Court more than King's Court. But yeah. Just because, they're reality TV stars, so they know how to make things entertaining, but I don't take it serious. Miss Carolina says, was it Bolo? No, it wasn't Bolo. Isn't Bolo married? I know. All right. So K. Michelle is telling Pinky about this, and she says that the ex was telling her that Porsha wanted to go public with him. Okay, Nash, whatever. Maybe for the show? That's probably what it is. Go public with him, meaning probably use him to come on the show. Not them exposing Porsha's plan for her storyline, to bring him on the show as her boyfriend instead of Mike or instead of Sway. I don't know. Look, I don't know. So K. Michelle says that she's not going to talk about another woman's vagina. Okay? Oh wait, no, rewinding. K. Michelle first says that as a friend, she would have thought that Porsha would have told her that she was dating her ex-man. This is going to lean into a place where, and I get it, there are people that do not like Porsha, and they think Porsha is a homewrecker and you know what, and then they're going to bring up the Fallon of it all. I get it. I am fully aware, okay? I'm blocked because I'm fully aware and called her out for it, okay? Whatever. But I don't know if I'm going to believe this, because we're also talking about K. Michelle, who has an interesting relationship with the truth. Because K. Michelle is saying that Porsha should have told her that she was talking to her ex. I'm a little confused here, because Porsha says they did not date Nash at the same time. So when was Porsha dating Nash? Was it after Simon? Was it during this little brief period where she's been single? I'm a little confused with the timeline of it all. But do you think that Porsha had an obligation to tell K. Michelle, who really isn't her friend? Again, we know when these women come onto the show, they choose a person for that person to come through on. Okay? That's what happened with the Fallon of it all. That's what happened with, because even recently during this interview press tour that Kay was doing, she says, I really wanted to come through Angela. Okay. All right. So Kay says that she isn't going to talk about another woman's vajayjay. All right. But you seem like you already are, because then just bringing this up is you talking about her vajayjay. Because apparently she says that she knows more, but she's not going into detail about the things that she discussed with Nash. So what exactly did Nash tell you? And if anything, you better say it at the reunion. You better be willing to say it at the reunion. All right. So back at the ranch, Phaedra's house. Phaedra starts her meditation program, all right? She's got the music going. She's got the drums going. She's got the gong. She's got all kinds of really great things. A sound bath going. I love it. I love all this stuff, okay? And I always say we need to start normalizing this in the community, because this is where we come from. Go all the way back to Africa, all these instruments and things like that. This is, believing in the power of energy. we have been forced into not and demonizing that stuff. So I want us to start normalizing instead of having funny commentary, but like, oh, I don't know what this is. This is weird. No, I think we need to start normalizing, like, no, this is where we come from. But anyway, that's me. Moving on. So she starts her program. The women start getting on floats. Porsha's like, I need the big float because I'm a little bit heavier than the rest of y'all. Okay? So they all get on these floats. Kelly arrives a little late. She says she's trying to hold it together. She's trying to show up for everyone, but mentally and physically, she's just not. She can't. So she's going. We have to remember there's a lot of stuff going on with her ex at this time that she's talking about a little bit, but you guys might not realize that while this is filming, this is when all those articles are coming out about the ex and in court, then threatening her in court, and he's not paying his child support. He's going to jail and all this kind of stuff. All right. So Kelly arrives. Shamea gets on the float. All the women are on the float. Shamea's float is losing air. I don't know if this was a sound effect that production added, but we could hear the float. It's a losing air. I said on X last night, I said, this is such a metaphor for Shamea's time as a housewife, a flop. What? This is your karma, Shamea. The signs of the universe are telling you everything that you need to know. You need to get off of this show. Damn near almost drowned, y'all. Miss Alex said she was so pissed. This is a sign that her whole float is losing air. Luckily, Aiden's in there as a lifeguard to save her. She had to go sit by the pool. Now, she looked great, though. She looked great, all right? She almost fell into the pool. Teresa says, Phaedra told Aiden, go get her. Because she didn't want the lawsuit. God forbid she, fell over or something like that. All right? Anyway. Shamea, okay, so they start doing the drums. They start doing the meditation. Shamea got her eyes closed, and Shamea is twerking, y'all. She's not up, but she's sitting twerking, but she just... She can't help but be cringy in every way. Even when we're having a solemn moment where everyone should just be peaceful, the other ladies are floating on the water. That has to probably feel like life. You're on the water and you're hearing these sounds. Oh, that's my kind of party. Good job, Phaedra. And I'm sure the food was good too. So she's just like, her and Kelly got their eyes closed. Shamea's like this. Look, she's twerking. I'm sure if she could scream, she would have screamed. But she just sent with the drums like, I'm like, I can't. Even with her eyes closed during a meditation, she's cringy. Cringy. All right? Okay. Pinky doesn't know what's going on. I have to say, Pinky actually is not a bad housewife, y'all. Besides her having an actual storyline, her commentary and her confessionals have made me laugh multiple times. She said, I don't know about these sounds. She's like, is this a cult? And then she says, they already try to kill Shamea. I got to keep my eyes open. I know I just said that we need to stop making jokes about stuff like this, but I have to say her commentary made me laugh, okay? It was the way she said it and delivered that line. Good job, Pinky. All right, so they do their meditation and they move from the meditation and they go to dinner. Guys, just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've already been live for almost 2 hours, and I still have a whole dinner to talk about. But if you are a member of the channel, I have dropped the call link for members. I'm dropping it now also for Team Kempire members. Live chat, once we get to 1,100 likes, I'll drop the call link for the general audience as well. Keep liking the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We also have our sponsors for today, so be sure to check out the description for Boll & Branch, RHOA, all of that. Memorial Day sales are going on for Boll & Branch, so go get your Memorial Day. After that, I have to remind myself. Can someone remind me at the end of this live, Kempire, Boll & Branch Memorial Day sale? Because I need to make sure I ordered some sheets. I love a good sheet set, all right? Right, Wave Key says 2 hours go by fast when it's interesting. I will say, that's true. All right, thanks, Keith. Let me say, okay, before we get to the dinner, let me just say thank you. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I don't take your super chats lightly. I appreciate it. It helps support us. It helps us continue to pour back into to creating content for you, allowing us on Memorial Day. Is this my overtime? Is this my time and a half? Thank you. I appreciate it. Juicy Mo, thank you for the super chat. Juicy says, K. Michelle's entire look on Watch What Happens reminded me of Caroline Manzo. I didn't like her hair. I didn't mind the dress. I didn't like her hair or the glasses with the hair. But that's just me. I didn't think she looked bad. I just felt like she's looked better. Queenie, thank you for being a member for the super chat. Queenie says, friend of on RHOA is giving me corporate vibes, working full-time for part-time pay and entry-level title because Cynthia and Phaedra are working. Here's the thing. Phaedra is a full-timer, so just keep that in mind. But Cynthia, just because she's a friend of, don't mean she's not getting paid very well, especially this season. Maybe her last season, she got a regular friend check, but I'm sure Cynthia is making a decent check with this one. I definitely think she wants that bigger check. But okay. Way of Keith, thank you for another super chat. Way of Keith says, Porsha can't keep a man for more than 2 years, so maybe she is a lesbian. Chloe, come on. Chloe better go and sell them Canal Street purses so she can buy a car. Honestly, if they were real, she should sell them and she could buy her own little hoopty. And that's all she needs for college. Ariana, thank you so much. Look, as a tourist, would I want a hoopty? Probably not. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. Ariana says, love the news. Oh, thank you, Ariana. Love the newsletter. Check your junk if you can't find it. Oh, for the people that say that they haven't gotten it. Yeah, check your junk mail because it should come up. It should. I mean, for the majority, I feel like everyone else is getting it. Thank you so much, Ariana. Maddie, thank you so much for the super chat. Maddie says, white lady fan. Maddie says, a white lady fan. Now I have a white lady fans. I know I got white lady fans. I've met all of you. White lady fan, love you, Kemp. Phaedra as a Reiki master has me confused. That flute was hilarious. That flute can be very relaxing, though. That sound, I mean, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Reiki, but fine. Thank you so much for another super chat, Maddie. Maddie says, one more, normalize the woo, woo, woo. It is normalized here. We do normalize. I need to add it back to the soundboard. But I've been busy. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat, T, and for being a member. T says, Kelly has a built-in storyline. She would have gotten so much sympathy from viewers, and it probably would have made her more likable. Instead, she wants to talk about Porsha and her pum-pum. I have to talk about this dinner because I feel like they cut out a lot from this dinner because it didn't make sense how Kelly was coming for Porsha. Because I was like, and if you pay attention to the edit, it was sort of like, wait, something else was happening, but the way it was edited, it was cut out. Something happened between Porsha and Kelly because and it felt random for Kelly to be like, oh, and Porsha's sleeping with, all the Africans in Atlanta. It seemed very random, but there was something just based off of Porsha's reaction towards Kelly before Kelly even said that I was like, wait, something happened and we're missing it. And maybe Kelly will talk about it in an interview or something like that, but I feel like something else happened that was already causing tension between Kelly and Porsha because Kelly and Porsha put to bed their issues and doubts. Not to say that it was completely dead, but for it to blow up the way that it did at this dinner, I was like, wait a minute. So I feel like something else happened during the dinner that we didn't see. So it does feel like Kelly came out of nowhere accusing Porsha about her pum-pum. And that's not me trying to give grace to Kelly. I'm just saying we're watching an edited show. And based off the context clues, I'm like, wait, something else happened. Carla, thank you so much for another super chat. Carla says, hold on, Carla. Shamea doesn't act like she's married she's not married to a Nigerian. He's not Nigerian. He's Kenyan. But you mean like an African?
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer, unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner. Or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech. Unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
Can we talk about something? Rewinding back, before we even get to the dinner, in the car with K. Michelle talking about Nash, Africans, but not even Africans, just everybody that watched it, did you guys cringe a little bit with the way that K. Michelle was talking about Nash and his bare feet on her counter? It felt a little xenophobic. And But the way she was talking about it, I was like, what is she doing here right now? Y'all let me know. Or go back and watch it. Y'all know I watched it like 3 times. I'm like, why is she talking about him like that? Gloria, thank you so much for the super. Especially, she's saying her ex, her friend that she's been talking to. She's like, oh, if you like that, your bare feet. I was like, okay. Gloria, thank you so much for the super chat. Gloria says, Shamea is giving poor little rich girl. I can't. Not poor little rich girl. Thank you so much, Marhi, for being a member and for the super sticker. I love the fact you can see the super stickers now. This is cute. Thank you for that, Marlo. Carla, thank you so much for another super chat. Carla says, I agree with P. I'm also a Cancer. If you're married, why should she mention dating a similar ex? Isn't that what she's upset with Drew about? Right? It doesn't make sense. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Porsha. Oh, so you all agreed about the whole comments that she made about Nash? I was like, oh, Millie says, as an African, it is. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, so I wasn't the only one. Shorty P says, very xenophobic. I was like, why is she talking about his bare feet and him being African? And then I was like, okay, not shocked. Look, not shocked. But I said, I'm going to mention it. Okay. She said, wait, did she say on? No, she said on the counter, right? Or bare, I can't remember now. Now y'all got me lying. But the way she said it, I was like, wait a minute. Tammy says, even as a Haitian, it did. All right. Sydney says, yeah, I was confused. Mimi says, if I put my bare feet on any service, my mother would snatch me up. My thing is, it was the way she was associating it, though. Because we talked about Ashley doing that at Stacey's house. We didn't like that. But it was the way she was associating Nash, him being African. And yeah. Look, all five wisdom says, yeah, she said counter. Yeah, counter. Peekaboo says, K. Michelle's ignorant. Look, well, all right, focus. So back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. We get to the dinner. They leave the pool area. They head to this beautiful setup that Phaedra has set for the women. Gorgeous table. Did y'all pay attention to the table? I didn't see the food, though. I didn't pay attention to the food. Now I need to go back. Was there food? I don't think there was food yet because poor Angela was just like, I'm confused. Where's the food at? Angela saved this moment for me because we were confused last week. We were confused again. Confused. All right. I have a lot of notes when it comes to this scene. And then we'll take callers, guys. And then I'm getting out of here. Oh, my God. It's almost 2 o'clock. Where did my Monday go? Happy Memorial Day, y'all. All right. So K. Michelle says that someone told her that Phaedra, Porsha, and Drew were trying to gather information about her. She still has not told us who. Andy Cohen asked her last night on Watch What Happens Live. She said that it was Jesus. Andy responded, he said, is her name Shamea Jesus? Meaning Shamea? Based on what I saw at that dinner table, now I'm wondering if it was Kelly. But I don't think it was Kelly or Shamea, to be honest with you. I think it was someone else. It could be production. It could be Nash, for all I know. So she says that Porsha seems genuinely confused. And at first, I would have expected Porsha to be like, I am not plotting anything against you. That wasn't her initial reaction. Porsha says that she would have preferred that K. Michelle would have said that I'm not someone, I can't remember, I don't know what I wrote here. Would have preferred that you're not, would have preferred K. Michelle saying that you're not someone I want to be friends with. K. Michelle says that her first encounter with Porsha, she brings up Porsha bringing up Kelly sleeping with that married man. So she says something like that already was like triggering to her. She was like, oh, is this what we're doing? And I could understand that because that would be quite shocking for me too. I'm like, oh, this is the type of person that you are? Like you're just randomly on camera bringing up this story? Okay. Mind you, you invited me out to eat. I thought we were all good, but now you're throwing me under the bus with this story? All right. And then she says, when she was talking about what happened to her butt, she says that Porsha asked her about the miscarriage. I think that was a misunderstanding. Yes, this is Porsha. Porsha sometimes says things that probably the normal person wouldn't say. Guys, I just want to give you a heads up. When we start talking about what Porsha says about Kelly, I don't want any speculation about the person in the chat. because you guys might be reaching in regards to this, because now people are checking who exactly is Phaedra following. Just because Phaedra might work with someone doesn't mean that she's necessarily following them on social media. So we're not going to sit over here and speculate who could possibly be the pastor, okay? Because if it's a client of Phaedra's, doesn't mean that Phaedra's following him on social media either. Just an FYI, we're not getting into that Tasha K kind of mess, okay, over here? Please and thank you. All right? Thank you. But rewinding back, because we will get to... No, not past the holy whore. But okay. Back to this. So K. Michelle points out these facts. She's like, you brought up that situation in front of me with Kelly. Then you brought up the miscarriage of it all, which I think was a misunderstanding. Fine. K. Michelle then claims that in Dallas, someone told her that the women were trying to find things out on her to expose her. Porsha says, why would she want to expose K. Michelle? Kay says that, why would I tell you what you were trying to expose me for? She's like, what am I trying to expose you for? She's like, why would I tell you what you're trying to expose me for? Kay, girl, this is why you're looking not so bright, okay? Because at least tell them now, like, what am I trying to expose you for? You already brought it up. You're the one who brought this to the cameras. So you might as well go ahead and tell them. Or even just allude, like, or you don't have to get into the specifics. You guys are digging up old rumors about me, old things about exes. This is what I heard. But she's not even saying that. So Porsha asks her, why would she try to expose her? And then she says, Porsha has the spirit of exposure. K. Michelle says, when Phaedra says, oh, so it's 3 things, then K. Michelle says, no, actually, it's 4 things. It's the black situation. And she turns to Drew and she's like, why do you care? And Drew's just like, you involved me. And I'm looking at K. Michelle like, yeah, you involved Drew in regards to this. Drew says that Kay wants to run down her resume, and she say, you ain't got one, so it was easy. I'm not going to even hold you. That was a good one. That was a good one. Why was Drew saying to K. Michelle not to mention Black's name? I didn't understand why she kept on saying, don't mention Black's names, don't mention Black's name. I didn't understand it. Then that particular read didn't land for me. But I will say I did giggle a little bit when she said to Drew that you ain't got a resume, so it was easy. I thought that was funny. But we're not going to sit here and act, because I'm so tired of us constantly having to say, well, no, Drew does have a resume. Drew's been on this, and this. Drew does have a resume. Drew is still a working actress. Let's not do that. And you're on the same show claiming to have this bigger career than Drew, but you're on the same show. You're begging to be on you are begging Andy Cohen to be on the show that Drew's been on for the last how many years? So let's not play like you're so better. And I just don't understand. Kay is coming across insecure. When we were hyping her up, all of us, we were like, Kay should, I don't want to see anyone talking about music on the season but Kay. I'm excited for Kay's country album. Kay has she's actually one of the rare people to come from reality television and have a career outside of reality television. But look, you're on the same show. You're on the same show with Drew. But you're acting more like an amateur, and Drew has become seasoned on this show. I don't love everything from Drew, but for the most part, Drew has been on people have been attacking Drew since last season. I mean, even before that, but definitely last season, people have been coming for Drew. And she's like Teflon Don. And this is why I think like Drew has survived, even the reboot, because everyone's coming for Drew, and Drew is just fine, minding her business. And now we all have to root for Drew. Because your issues with Porsha, I don't know if there was really a plot happening there. I don't believe so. I think it might be the voices. But there's the other aspect here with Drew and the Black of it all. We saw the DMs between you and Black. You were acting all like, hey, nice to see you. No, it wasn't nice to meet you. It was nice to see you. There is a difference when you were seeing him in the phone. But okay, fine. So they start getting their back and forth. Drew says K. Michelle needs to yodel her ass out and says it's obvious that K. Michelle does not fit in. That's what stood out to me is when Drew said that K. Michelle does not fit in. And I think that's what's happening here. K. Michelle is feeling insecure. I think K. Michelle is projecting when she says that Porsha wants to be the star of this show. I don't think so. Porsha already was the star of this show. Porsha had the fanfare and the comeback. But I don't think Porsha's not acting like an insecure reality TV star. You are, Kay. So she, Drew tells her that she needs to yodel her. Here's the thing with the yodeling. She said she went to college she got a scholarship for going to college. She got a scholarship for yodeling to go to college. I have yet to hear her yodel. Not on a country song, not on this show. Has anyone heard K. Michelle ever yodel? I wonder if we're going to hear her yodel this season, because I have not heard her yodel. I would love to hear a good yodel. I haven't heard her yodel on a song. Nothing. Have y'all heard her yodel? Come on. Just asking. All right, fine. Beezy says she doesn't fit. Blanche says Drew clocked it. They keep coming for Drew, thinking that Drew can't handle herself. Drew has taught us multiple times that she can handle herself with this group. She's definitely really grown as a housewife. She's definitely grown as a housewife. I don't care about the black of it all in that situation, but here we are. Leva says Drew needs to focus on home. I agree with that, though. I'm not going to argue with that when it comes to that. But she didn't, that's the thing. She didn't come at K. Michelle that we know of. Okay? Miss Sweet Jane says, yodel yee-hee. Michael Jackson. I saw the Michael Jackson movie. Did I tell y'all? I did a review. Did you miss it? Mods, can we post a link to my review in the chat? Yes, I posted the Michael Jackson movie review on Saturday. You can also hear it on the podcast. All right? Oh, wait, hold on. Boss Mom says, I've heard her yodel and never need to hear it again. Oh, damn. Was that yodeling last night, MB? MB says, didn't she yodel on Watch What Happens Live last night? Well, if that was a yodel, I mean, she was trying to do a little bit when they were playing the game, but I wasn't taking that serious. I'm not going to take that as a serious yodel. Okay. Okay. Kristen says, oh, damn, Kristen, I lost your comment. Hold on, Kristen. The chat is moving quick. Kristen says, K. Michelle is not that famous. She begged to be on the same show Drew's on. I know, to be talking about Drew and Drew's resume. Thank you so much, RC. RC says it was a great review of the Michael movie, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let me get back to this, and we'll get to callers, and then we'll wrap this up, because I've already been live over 2 hours. I might need another bathroom break in a second, all right? Oh, wait, you heard her? Wait, on an old Jason Lee. That wasn't the new Jason Lee interview. All right. Thank you so much. Always Priceless says the Michael review was great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I know it was 3 weeks late, maybe 4 weeks late. But yeah, oh, there he goes. Foxy posted it in the chat for you guys. And if you're watching the replay of it, you can click the link. It's on the podcast, but it's also on the YouTube channel. You can also watch it on Facebook. I premiered it on Facebook as well. All right, moving on. So her and Drew going back and forth. Drew says you don't fit in. I know that had to hurt her feelings. Drew saying that she doesn't fit in. So K. Michelle says that her ex Nash reached out to her. Well, she said her ex, and then Porsha seemed to know who she was talking about. She was like, yeah, Nash. Apparently, Nash says, Nash says that Porsha said to him, why do I always end up with people's men? Here's the thing. And this is not me being a Porsha defender, because I know some people are going to be like, OMG, Kempire, you're such a stand for Porsha. No, I can see Porsha jokingly saying, being self-deprecating. Like, why do I always end up with people's men? Meaning that there is a connection there. But it's also Atlanta. I feel like it'd be hard to date someone that someone else hasn't known or dated. Don't y'all? I feel like there aren't a lot of, heterosexual men in Atlanta that are available. So I don't know if I'm going to read too much into Porsha saying that, apparently. So Porsha said, she makes it clear. She was like, but we didn't date Nash at the same time. Okay? K. Michelle says she wonders why Porsha didn't give her a heads up. Mind you, K. Michelle is married. K. Michelle was pointing out, I don't need you associating me with black because I'm a married woman. This is a married vagina. That's what she's been saying. But now you want to connect yourself to an ex, Naj, just so that you can come at Porsha? Make it make sense. It's not making sense to me. Porsha says that when she was dealing with Naj, she didn't know K. Michelle. So I'm a little confused with the timeline of everything with this whole situation with Naj, because you did know K. Michelle, maybe professionally. Again, see, now I'm confused about how friendly were they before the show, because you know how they try to paint it. Oh, they know each other. People said they look alike. They did a movie together, but maybe they really weren't friends. And she was like, I didn't know you when I was dating Naj. Okay. Angela is as confused as all of us, because Angela, under her breath, and I'm so glad the editors kept it in, they were like, Angela says, I'm confused. Where the food at? I'm confused. She don't even care, because Angela's a tourist. Where's the food at? Yeah. K-Baby says, why is Kay even talking to her ex? It's weird. Apparently, she's talking to a bunch of her exes. On the Hot 97 interview, she talked about how one of the exes that talked about her, JJ Stankin, she said he apologized to her. I don't believe her. I don't believe that this ex reached out to her to apologize. But I find it interesting she used that as a way to clear him, but come for Porsha. I don't. And here's the thing, Kay. We will never really know 100% if Porsha really planned to bring that to the cameras, but you did. You should have let it play out and then be like, I knew you were going to do this. I was just waiting for you to do it. But now you look like the unhinged one. You look like the crazy one. Queenie, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. Queenie says, unpopular lane, but I love Shamea's cringe. It's the same feeling when I watch Medea movies. So dumb and bad, but I can't help but to watch it every single one. I mean, that's an honest opinion, Queenie. And I get it. That makes a lot of sense. There's an audience for everything, including Tyler Perry movies. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Zoe says, I think married people don't have exes. Why would I tell a married woman that I dealt with her ex when we are not friends and we didn't share him? In my opinion, no obligations to share useless information. Kay is giving low vibrations. I agree, Zoe. You're a whole married woman. But again, when did Porsha date Naj? Was she dating Naj when they started filming and talking to each other? Or was this before then? Because according to Porsha, they didn't date Naj at the same time. And she said she didn't know K. Michelle when she was dating Naj. So I need a timeline. Neat Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me shimmy. Hold on. Let me shimmy for the $20. Tish says, it's crazy how Kay overlooks all the things that Kelly says to provoke Porsha, but polices how Porsha responds to it. It's obvious Kay watched previous seasons so that she knows that Kelly has been coming for Porsha since day one. It's very clear that she's chosen a team, and she's chosen the Shamea and Kelly team. And I think Pinky's sort of in that team as well. Bree, thank you so much for the super chat for being a member. Bree says Porsha had fighting flashbacks at the end with Kelly. I saw it too. I saw it in her eyes. Anyone else? Hayla Navies was watching on Twitch. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. But okay. So K. Michelle brings up this whole Naj situation. Porsha is genuinely confused. So is Angela. Angela's like, where's the food? Angela's like, where's the food? K. Michelle says, why wouldn't Porsha tell her that she dated her ex when bringing someone into her friend group? I don't. And then they comment in the confessionals that, if I was dating someone, I would, someone in the group, I would, let that person know. Shamea's just like, isn't that girl code? Oh, Lord. Okay. Y'all notice how Shamea is quiet at that table, though, right? Shamea is not trying to get into any arguments with Porsha. This is why you can't be in the group, because you and Porsha are sort of like ignoring each other when there's a big elephant in the room when it comes to like, you don't like her, Shamea. And you probably are talking all kinds of stuff to these other women about her, like you were last season when you were still her friend. Just saying. Shamea says that is in girl code not to tell someone. Porsha and Phaedra apparently dated the same guy. Is it Chi-Chi? But here's the thing. It could be Chi-Chi. It could be Dennis. It could be a bunch of different people. Okay? Namaste J says, I think I'm a Fangela now. Not going to lie. She's hilarious. Hilarious. She's just like, she's talking to Pinky. She's just like, oh my goodness. She's like, I'm confused. Because you can hear Angela talking because she was genuinely confused and she's asking questions to K. Michelle. She's like, what's that got to do with? And mind you, she's not a big fan of Porsha. And she makes shady remarks at Porsha too, Angela. But she's also in this moment just confused by why K. Michelle is making this an issue. And she's a married woman. So she's like, I don't understand. Why? She's like, I'm confused. Where the food at? Yeah, where is the food? Please and thank you. Bring out the food. Okay? Porsha and Phaedra dated the same man. Not sure who it was. Okay? And Phaedra doesn't want to say, Phaedra, that confessional with the brown hair, can we stick with the brown hair or black hair? I'd much rather see you with that hair color than these blondes and reds that you be coming out with and looking like an Instagram model. Exactly. Miss Alex says, who's plotting? Angela's like, who's plotting? Lord, confusion. So Porsha admits that she had communication with Nash until K. Michelle came into the group. Porsha says that K. Michelle is too sensitive and and she's like, I'm no longer going to communicate with you. Okay, she says, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Can I get a refund? Yes. Can I get we all want a refund. Like remember before K. Michelle was on the show, I was like, I have high hopes for K. Michelle. I want a refund. Can I get a refund? Kelly then chimes in when Phaedra is trying to round out this conversation. Kelly chimes in and says, we all have the understanding that Porsha has effed every Nigerian in Atlanta. I'm going to say this again. If you pay attention to the scene, it already seems as if Kelly was chiming in before that. And there was something happening between Porsha and Kelly because they were sitting right next to each other. But we don't see what it is because you already can see that Portia's sort of like making her face towards Kelly. Then Kelly says this, and that's when Porsha gets up and she gets upset. Okay, and that's when Porsha calls out the fact. She's like, oh, how about you sleeping with that married man, that pastor? That's a client of Phaedra. Phaedra, you know who she slept with? And Phaedra's like, I do. So everyone has been speculating on who it could possibly be. So people have been going in and Phaedra's following count. And I'm going to say this, y'all. Possibly Phaedra could be following this said client that's a pastor, or she couldn't. So that for me is not enough legitimacy to say it's one person or the other, because I'm not trying to get sued for defamation. So, but what we do know, Porsha says that it's a pastor. He wasn't a flight attendant, it was a pastor. And apparently is a client of Phaedra's. Okay. That's all I have for you. Ms. Parker says that scene was chopped and screwed. Again, it was probably a very long fight, but I feel like there was something more that was being said because it didn't make sense for Kelly to chime in when Kelly and Porsha basically, waved the white flag and said that they're fine. They're not best friends, but they're fine. I also think that Kelly could be fighting, look, as I point over to the right, could be fighting Shamea's battles. I don't know, because I know Kelly probably knows exactly what Porsha said in those text exchange. Remember the text exchange that she mimed for us during her cringy confessional? That Shamea mimed for us? Just saying. All right, let's get to the callers, guys. We're almost at 1,200 likes. Once we get to 1,200 likes, I will drop the call link for the general audience. I know I said 1,100, but we're so close. We're very, very close. Keep in mind, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the KEMPIRE LLC, or our sponsors. Everything that they say is alleged. Callers, please respect the timer, first of all. Respect the timer. And also no speculation on who this man could be. Please. All right? You only have 30 seconds. Use it wisely. All right. Let me get to the call. Shout out to our members. I've already dropped the call link for our members on the post tab here on YouTube, so you guys have first access. Let's bring up Brandy, who's backstage. Hold on, Brandy. Brandy, are you there? Oh, wait. Hold on, Brandy. You got two Brandys back here. Brandy, there you go. Brandy, are you there? I can't hear you, Brandy. And I don't see any sound moving. Brandy, do me a favor, Brandy. Drop out and call back in. Sometimes StreamYard can be a little weird with that, especially because there's two Brandys backstage. Let me kick this other Brandy out. Kick you out the studio. All right, Keith is backstage. Let's bring Keith up next. Keith, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So first, I just have to say, personally, I think Phaedra is the one that told Porsha about Kelly sleeping with the married man. Because if he's a client of Phaedra's, then it wouldn't surprise me that Phaedra is the one that brought the information. But my thing is this, Phaedra isn't the most reliable person, so I don't know how truthful this can be. And the thing is, Kelly, I respect Kelly because either you're going to say it or keep it on the playground. All right, if you're not going to say who the married man is, then we don't need to bring this up. And she knows that they're not going to bring up the married man because they're probably familiar with the woman. So you know what, Kelly? I respect that because you're a little smarter than I thought you were. I like that. I'm not going to lie. But also, I do want to say, Drew, no shade, but she's been on for 5 years, and I can't think of one monumental thing she has done. Now, she's been on, honestly, as a fluke because they can't really find anyone that's not thirsty in Atlanta. K. Michelle. But yeah, that's about it.
All right. Thanks, Keith. That's hilarious. All right. There's Brandy. Brandy, are you there?
I'm back.
Now I can hear you.
Yay. Okay. Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I am so glad I was able to get on because this episode and K. Michelle, oh my God.
Enjoying it?
She's taking me through that. So first I want to say, I got who she getting that information from. It's the Great Gazoo. Remember the little Martian from the Flintstones? Yes. And only Fred and Barney could see him, right? Ooh. So that's where this information is coming from because K. Michelle is acting very delusional. I think her insecurities do speak very loud for her, which is a problem because most people have figured out a way to hide, you know what I mean, to internalize their insecurities. One more thing. Kay with the Drew, I don't like her going for Drew. I don't like the energy she give her. And then she wants to be calm with Porsha, which I guess she's smart about that because she knows she will get dragged fooling with Porsha. But to come, she will. But I don't like her coming for Drew. I think she's mean and she's not a girl's girl. And now I see why she has so many issues getting along with females.
Thanks, Brandy, for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. Members, I've dropped the call link for you guys. Now, live chat, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys for those that want to share their thoughts and opinions on the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's bring up Lee next. Hold on, Lee. There we go. Hey, Lee.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. So I'm still enjoying the season, but there is a real disconnect with Kelly's storyline and what the producers are. I blame the producers, to be honest, because if you see that the storyline is not flowing how it should in the clips, then their job is to reinforce that in the confessionals or however they need to do it. It's just not landing to me. How she said last season that she lost her business due to her ex-husband closing the businesses, and then now she's the guarantor for those businesses. So how did he close it if you were financially responsible for them? So it's something like that. And then her always trying to bring up like a Porsha. It's so weird to me. She's also obsessed with Porsha. It's like, let the mouse go for once, please. Because at this point, it's giving Desperado.
Ooh, not Desperado. Thanks, Lee.
Bye.
Tyler's backstage. We're going to bring Tyler up next. Tyler, what did you want to share about Atlanta?
Hi, Kempire. Let me say this. I think the elephant in the room about Drew is annoying. She sits to the side. No, she does. She sits to the side. The reason why K. Michelle checked her is because you're over there making comments while I'm talking to Porsha. I think she was going to talk to Drew and get through the situation, but Drew over there, why are you? She does that all the time. And then when somebody checks her, she sits there and act clueless. I just want to be real. And I will say this, the reason why Porsha is winning is because Porsha has had some type of PR training and Porsha is learning how to speak better and you're not going to overpower her. But what I will say, I do think that if she does not straighten this story out about Kelly, I don't think that the reunion is going to 100% go in Porsha's favor. I think some stuff is going to be unveiled. I believe K. Michelle. I just don't think she played it right. You're a reality TV vet. You should have let those girls do it first. But I do feel like, in my opinion, Kempire, I think there's a way for her to redeem herself at the reunion. She just cannot be quick to react. She has to let them talk first. That's K. Michelle's problem. You're looking for a moment when you need to let them react first. If you do that, you got it. And don't ever wear that hair. You look like Miranda Priestley when she was on the on Watch What Happens Live. And I love K. Michelle. That's my Memphis girl. And she yodels live. I have to be fair.
Okay.
I've seen
At her
her
live
several
show.
times live. She does amazing live. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. All right. The last time I went to a K. Michelle concert, a fight broke out, and I said, I'm never going to another K. Michelle concert again. All right. Let me bring up April Aries next. April Aries, what's going on? What do you want to share about Atlanta?
Hi, good afternoon, Kempire. I want to say thank you for keeping me in spirits and up to date. Last week was a doozy for me, and you helped me get through.
Oh.
And the irony of Fraser being dressed like Poison Ivy and based off her poisonous tendencies of her being on this show was gagging me. And I agree with you that I prefer her with the dark chocolate hair than all this color hair because it's a mess. And K. Michelle was speaking very, her points seem to be landing, and I wish she would have been this way in the prior episodes because I was understanding what she was saying. And I do agree that if we have someone in common, it's just common courtesy to let the other person know, because now you got me looking crazy, and that's what I would do. It's a catch-22, but you're supposed to just let the other person know out of just respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have a good day, Kempire.
You too. I mean, there should be some sort of system in Atlanta to let people know. Because everybody knows everybody. Everybody's dated everybody. All right, let's bring up Rue next. Again, did I drop the call link for the live chat? I'll drop it again because I don't remember dropping it. But I'll drop it again. All right. We do have a line backstage, but I don't remember if I dropped it or not. Rue's backstage. Rue, what did you want to share about Atlanta?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So I just wanted to share that I think Kay is being a bit weird because on the one end, she wants to weaponize patriarchal beliefs and, calling people hoes and things like that. But sorry about the strong language, but she doesn't want that to be used against her. So when it's coming against her, she has a problem with it, but she doesn't mind weaponizing it against Porsha, which we all know Porsha's history. We're not debating that. But why are you so willing to weaponize that and use that? It's just so weird to me. And then I think the other thing I wanted to say is that I think Shamea needs to really take a step back and look at her life and see that the thing she wants doesn't match the life that she has and make it.
That's true. Thanks, Rue.
Cool. Thank you.
Every time I say the name Rue, I think about Euphoria. I haven't watched. I'm behind 2 episodes of Euphoria. I got to be in the right headspace to watch Euphoria. Anyone else? Euphoria is a lot. You know what I have been watching? I've been doing a rewatch of Game of Thrones. That show was damn good. And the actor that Mr. Dinklage, was it Peter Dinklage, that played Tyrion? Oh, he deserved all the awards, and he won all the awards. He had 4 Emmys for that role. He was so good in that. Sorry, I've digressed. All right, Cynthia's backstage. We're gonna bring Cynthia up next. Cynthia, what did you think about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
How's everyone? Good. Why does this feel like season 9 deja vu all over?
Right?
I don't trust Phaedra and Porsha for anything. I am honestly, I'm just gonna let the season play out. But and with K. Michelle, I'm very confused, very, very confused. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully there'll be some clarity at the reunion. And that's it, Kempire.
Thanks so much, Cynthia. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. I should have allowed people a minute. Tyler, if you want to call back in. Keith, if you want to call back in. I mean, we have a line, but I'm just saying, I should have gave y'all a minute. I forgot it's a holiday, so a lot of people are busy. A lot of people are away. Look, things are happening. Because usually for Atlanta, it's hard to. A lot of y'all can't get in. Okay, I'm not done. This is my show. Okay, I did watch House of Dragons, Creme Brulee. I love House of Dragons too. I rewatched season 2 the other day, and season 3's coming, right? Or is it season 3 already come? I can't remember now. Y'all remind me in the chat. But I know a new season's coming of House of Dragons, and it's going to be the last season, right? All right. Kiki's backstage. Kiki, what's going on? What do you want to share about Atlanta?
Hi,
Hi, Kempire. I've watched Game of Thrones like 3 times. It was so good.
So good.
Tyrion Lannister, he's a very great actor.
Mm-hmm.
But House of Dragons, it's season 3 that is coming, and there's another season, there's another series
Yes.
that is not House of Dragons, but it's
Something
supposed to be before that, but it's still like the Game of Thrones related. So yeah, if I think of the name, I'll put it. But you can Google.
I know
it.
you're talking
It's on
about.
Crave. Yeah. So that I want to get.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Have you watched it?
I started, but okay, can we focus, ma'am?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Look, now your time is up.
Honestly, I really think K. Michelle is just not likable. I don't know what it is. She wasn't in Love and Hip Hop, and she's still not. Like, I don't know. She's not likable. Kelly is naturally beautiful. She needs to do without this Botox and filter, but ship them back off to Love and Hip Hop. Both the case can go, and maybe with a little sprinkle of pinky on it. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Kiki.
All right.
Bye. Not everybody else calling back in. People calling back in. We'll see, y'all. Y'all still getting 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Let's bring up. Oh wait, hold on. Let me say thank you because we had a couple of super chats too. Yes, I agree, Amina. I just watched this week's episode or last week's episode of The Testament. Such a good show. That's the sequel to Handmaid's Tale. It's so good. So good on Hulu. Always Priceless. Thank you for the super chat. Always Priceless. Kay and Kelly's plot is for Porsha to attack them. Yeah, I don't know. It's not making sense. Zoe, thank you for another super chat. Zoe said, and for being a member. Zoe says, timeline don't matter. Once you get married, it's a reset. Don't bring up my past ever. Romantic relationship or HOE phase. Whole phase. It's disrespectful to the partner, so I don't understand why Kay is making her past a talk of the town. I agree with that because at the end of the day, you're so in love with Dr. Caston. Why does any of this stuff matter or relevant? Why does it matter? Because she's not in love with Dr. Caston. You are proving more and more that this relationship is for television. And all you K. Michelle fans, y'all can save it. I know she's been with Dr. Caston since high school. She also allows Dr. Caston to sleep with other women. She also went on Queen's Court to make Dr. Caston jealous. She also had another guy interviewing with production before she actually started filming. Does it make sense to y'all? Okay. Tammy, thank you for the super chat for being a member. Tammy says, I was waiting to call and my cell died. Damn. It's early in the day, Tammy. K. Michelle is not a girl's girl. A girl's girl uplifts women. K. Michelle is quick to cut down women so quickly and identify with men a lot quicker, too. Tish, thank you so much for another super chat and for being a member. Tish says, imagine telling Drew not to bring up Black, then telling Porsha to bring up Nosh. Make it make sense. Nothing K. Michelle does so far this season is making sense. Nothing. Tammy, thank you for another super chat. Tammy says, K. Michelle was on a man's podcast calling Tamar a Muppet once again. Yeah, Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. We talked about it. We did a video about it. That's what men do. K's who altered her own looks. Lord. Teacup, I did. Here's the thing. I told you guys, if you came to my live show, I had tea about the season, and I was hoping the tea that I had was wrong in regards to her being a flop this season. But it's very clear that she is. I was hoping they were wrong. Matter of fact, I need to reach out to said sources and be like, okay, you were right. Fine. Teacup, thank you for the super chat. Teacup says, did y'all hear Phaedra tell Case say she knew about the plot about Black, but not the Porsha plot? We talked about that, Teacup. And I said, I'm not sure if it was an edit situation, like she knew about the Black of it all. Was she just saying she knew of that situation, or did she know of the plot? So I need clarity on that. But yeah. All right. Who got the angry emoji watching on Facebook? Who's angry over there? Lord. All right. Oh, damn, we got a long line now. Lord, what did I do to myself? I was trying to get out of here. It's 2:00. It's Memorial Day. Can I go for a barbecue? Whose barbecue I'm coming to in New York? By a train line. Okay, if I have to get on a bus. A train and a bus. Nope. All right. Monday Bliss is backstage. Monday Bliss, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. Hey, Kempire family.
Hey.
What I wanted to share was I think that Kelly, Shamea, and K. Michelle need to be put in a canoe and shipped off. K. Michelle, these voices are in your head. And first of all, you said that when you talked to Phaedra at first, you told Phaedra it was Drew and Porsha. But at the table, you said it was all three of them. So make up your mind. And the thing with Kelly, if you still worried about dying that dog and worried about Porsha, what's going on with Porsha vagina, maybe you can handle your businesses. Because the thing of it with this, and I think Shamea is pushing y'all up to try to make Porsha fight or become aggressive on the show so that they can say, well, Porsha being aggressive again, she's fighting, she's doing this, she's doing that. Because every time when they get into an argument, Shamea be sitting back smiling.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Porsha's going to get y'all. And you noticed last night, she didn't move until production came out there to help her little friend Kelly. Shamea sat right there in that seat.
Shamea's sitting there like this.
Yeah, they're doing it to try to antagonize Porsha because they know Porsha got that spirit of I will take you down. And that's what they're doing. And the same thing with K. Michelle. You came at Drew hostile, but you came at Porsha in a different way. And you just told Drew that you don't want to talk about no man because you're married, but you want Porsha to bring up that with this man. So, girl, why would you even bring that on the show? You messing up your own self, K. Michelle. And as we said last week, Porsha was not talking about your vagina. She was throwing that at Kelly because Kelly has called her Frito. So, K. Michelle, get these voices and this paranoia out of your head, girl. You need to put down the Jack Daniels bottle. Jack Daniels is not your friend. Put it down. That's all I got.
Thanks, Monday Bliss. Wow. Always Priceless says, Kemp's trying to get some pepperoni pizza on a white couch, y'all. I have a cream couch, but I'm not trying to get no pepperoni pizza on it. That's my couch. I'm going to come to your house and do that, okay? All right, Audrey's backstage. I'm going to bring Audrey up next. Audrey, what's going on? Audrey?
Fire, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Hi. Hello. Happy Memorial Day.
You too.
Thank you. Real quickly, I have an unpopular opinion, but I actually understood what K. Michelle was saying because I think she's trying to be calm in the beginning. I think any woman, whether you're married or not, whether the relationship was good or not, I think you do tell a woman who is a new friend that, hey, I dated this guy, you know, whatever, wasn't a big deal or was a big deal or whatever. I dated this guy. It is girl code. You do tell a woman that. And I think she just brought it up. Why didn't you tell me that you dated this guy? I do understand that part. And then if you notice, all the women at the table were like, oh, what's the harm? But then in the confessionals, they were like, saying like, yeah, you do tell a woman that. So I thought that was interesting that they didn't defend her in front of Porsha, but then in the confessionals, they kind of agreed with her. So I thought that was interesting. And then really quickly, if you notice, Porsha had this big reaction to Kelly. To me, it looked like a hit dog would holler. Because we all know how Porsha moves in these streets. And it looked like what Kelly was saying actually struck a nerve.
I think Porsha is just very sensitive when people talk about her being, I'm a husband stealer.
Because where's the lie?
You trying to get me blocked again? She gonna unblock me and block me again.
I'll wait. Where's the lie? It's true. It's true. And it dog hollered. And she did what she always does because she doesn't grow up. And she's the same Porsha in season 6. She's the same Porsha in season 7. She has yet to mature. She does the same thing over and over again. I know there's a lot of Porsha fans on this. And, you know, you guys can eat me up. But she is still the same Porsha. She has not grown up. She still wants to fight. She still wants to yell. She still wants to sleep with other people's husbands. And it's the truth. So, again, where's the lie?
Now,
I'll let everyone go because I know there's a line, but that's all I have to say. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Kempire.
Thanks, Audrey.
Bye.
Take care. Here's the thing. Now, would I trust my gay husband around Porsha? No! No! Arjun is backstage. Arjun, what did you want to share? Oh, did Arjun just drop out? Damn, Arjun, I was just coming to you and you dropped out. All right. Madam Bonsu is backstage. Madam, are you there?
Hey, Kempire. Hey, Booze.
Yeah, how are you?
It's Mommy Bunsu, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
You can call me Kay.
Okay.
That's okay, bro. So, my comment is for Shamea. And if Shamea got family and friends that listen to the show, girl, you need to go on TikTok more because there is a thing about being a cutie patootie. And that's what you are, Shamea, girl. You be trying to cosplay as a baddie, and I think that's what's not working for you. And even when you can see the dynamics in the group, I feel like the baddie girls are like the Portias, who else? Cynthia, all of them, right? Phaedra, they're the baddies. Shamea, you are really a cutie patootie. Kelly, you're a cutie patootie, a whimsical black woman, all of that. And y'all really need to hone in into that. Pinky too, all on that side. Cutie patooties. I see your face. Do you get where I'm going with this, Kempire?
No, I get what I'm trying to. Okay.
So it's like Shamea, girl. Like you keep trying to be a baddie, and I think that's what's not working for you. You have a lovely family, a millionaire husband. You're blessed. Like, why do you keep trying to come out with songs and stuff, which isn't a problem?
She's always been in competition with Porsha, literally, since they were young women. Right.
And you being in competition doesn't work because that's not who you are. And I think that's not who Kelly and them are either, and Pinky and even K. Michelle. I like all these girls for different reasons, by the way. So it's not like I'm trying to defend one or the other. I'm just saying there's a difference in the girls and how you come off. And you are a cutie patootie, Shamea, and Pinky and K. Michelle. And y'all need to hone in on that because there is a division. I don't know who's going to win the season, the baddies or cutie patooties. Let's see.
Report back.
Okay.
Bye, Kay.
Have a good Monday, boo.
You too. Oh, my God. No, I get what she's saying, though. And basically, let me put it in layman's terms for you. Shamea is not who she thinks she is. Shamea is trying to portray more baddie energy, more sort of maybe like a Porsha, but at her core, who she really is not that. And the life that she lives is not that. I understand. She's fronting. And that's why it's not coming across well when it comes to the audience, because that's not genuinely who she is. And maybe she's just genuinely cringe. I don't know. 3M, thank you so much for this. 3M says you need to read the Game of Thrones, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and Fire Blood, House of the Dragon. The books are so much better than the show. I'm sure. You're right. I really should just read the books. And maybe after I finish watching this season of Game of Thrones. I'm on like season 4 already. Aren't there only 5 seasons? So good. So good. Some things that happened during those seasons, I completely forgot. I was like when Robb Stark died with his mother and the baby. I was like, I completely forgot about this scene. But okay. Anyway, I've digressed. Tammy, thank you for another super chat. Tammy says, Shamea is conveniently quiet the puppet master. Maybe. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And maybe it'll be exposed at the reunion. We'll see. Miss Neen, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Miss Neen says, Kempire, my 78 years young cancer mom wants to say K. Michelle needs to sit her leaky behind down, and she's been watching her since Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I'm gonna need your 78 years young cancer mom to be nicer, but thank you. Not you throwing your cancer mom under the bus, but okay. All right, let's get to these last couple calls because I gotta go. I've been live for almost 3 hours. No, more like this, Lord. All right. Did we speak to Noda Queen? Noda Queen, did we speak to you?
No.
Oh, sorry. I just felt like you said the super chat, so I was like, wait, did we speak to her already? What's going on, Noda Queen?
Much. Happy Memorial Day.
Hey.
My thing is, number one, I'm side-eyeing Gerald with this whole baby thing. I don't think Shamea wants another baby. I think she just wants to do what he wants to do. And the way she's like crying about it, like it makes me think that she may feel her marriage could be in jeopardy if they don't have this boy. Because like, I understand wanting one so bad, but it gets to a point where it looks like like I wish them the best, but it looks like it potentially may not happen. So I don't know. I think he needs to relax a little bit. Like it seems like it's taking a toll on her more than maybe it should. K. Michelle is exhausted and insecure, and like you can tell what she's insecure about. She keeps bringing up these men when she's supposedly married, allegedly.
Yeah.
And then keeps bringing up Drew's career, but Kay is so much bigger than her. Like, if quiet as it's kept, Drew been around a lot longer than K. Michelle, if we really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's why she keeps
Since
going up and down her resume. Yeah. Drew has been around, so she needs to stop trying to play in Drew's face and find something else to be mad about. It's boring.
Lord.
And time blindness is real, y'all. I don't know if Drew has it because Drew's lying, but it is real. She could potentially have it, y'all. It's a real thing.
Do you have it?
Yes, I have
Okay.
ADHD. It's a
Okay.
symptom of ADHD. So, like, I
Oh.
have work accommodations for it and everything.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that she doesn't have it because wouldn't that be something that she would have brought to the judge in her divorce?
That's why I said I don't know about her having it. And like at the end of the day, you still do have to manage as a person ultimately. So like an egregious amount of latenesses for your kids is still something to be concerned about regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't know, child.
All right. No, the queen. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you.
No problem.
Bye. All right. Shanisha's backstage. What's going on, Shanisha?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, honey. Okay, so let me just tell you, I am confused on what Kay believes the difference is with Drew associating her to Black versus her associating Nash to Porsha. It's literally the exact same thing. The situation with her and Porsha, though, and all the discourse going on online, I don't know about you, but it reminds me of a little recycled storyline from Basketball Wives Miami season 2 with Evelyn and Tammy. Literally the exact same thing, except Tammy was married to the man and they were hunching on him at the same time. It sounds like neither of these women dated Nasha at the same time. Neither of them took him seriously. And Kay is married to someone else. If I'm Porsha, I'm not bringing up no man from my past. But that's just me. That's all I have.
Thanks, Shanisha.
See you.
I agree. I also don't understand why it's even relevant. And I get it. Girl code, maybe mention it, but again, it's also Atlanta. I'm probably giving Atlanta a little bit more grace when it comes to something like this because it's Atlanta. And I feel like a lot of these people know each other. Literally, at Porsha's dinner, everyone was like, oh, yeah, I know him. Oh, yeah, and him too. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I don't think this is that big of a deal. And yes, we know Porsha has a past. I've talked about her past. I'm blocked because I've talked about her past. Okay? Thank you, Millie. Millie says, don't forget about those sheets. I know I need to order my sheets. Guys, don't forget our Bowl & Branch sponsor for today's live, a Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. You can check it out and get your discount as well. It's Memorial Day. Go take advantage. All right. GMD is backstage. G, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I have two things to say real quick. The first thing is I think that K. Michelle wanted to embarrass Drew with the whole Black thing, and it backfired. And that I think that's a source of her crash out because I think that Porsha went and told Drew what K. Michelle said. And then Drew kind of took on the disposition like, oh, we're just friends, so it's not a big deal. And that derailed, in my opinion, whatever K. Michelle wanted to come at with Drew, like, oh, he's in my DMs. Oh, he this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that nonchalant, brush it off the shoulder, derail of her plot, her real plot, is what's kind of having her crash out. And then the second thing that I want to say is I think a lot of this stuff is some jealousy with Porsha's relationship with the network.
And how she's treated behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I talked about that.
Yep. Thanks, Kempire.
Thank
and
you.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Take care. All right. Before I get to some more callers, guys, don't forget to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Don't forget you can hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today and be sure to give us a 5-star review. It's in more edited down version. Sometimes I add additional thoughts based on additional thoughts that I have after the live. I don't know if I'll be adding additional thoughts to this episode. It's already 3 hours. Okay. Archie says, my husband has ADHD. And time management is a huge issue for him. See, I love how we end up learning stuff during our live recaps. Jason says, are they going to bring back the after show where they talk about the episodes? I literally had that thought today. I was like, okay, we're on episode 8. Are they going to start doing the after show? They did it last season. But I'm like, okay, are we going to start filming the after show? I'm going to ask. I'm going to find out. Because I'm surprised that we haven't started, at least the promotion for the after show. We definitely need an after show for this season. Definitely need an after show. Here go Miss Melon Magic. Kempire for Beauty in the Black. Yes, thank you guys for reminding me because I almost forgot. All right, let me get to the rest of these calls. Arjun's backstage. Arjun, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I just want to say I'm really loving Kelly this season. The way she's called Drew your alien, and then the fact that she was sitting next to Porsha and saying that she's effing everyone in Atlanta. Like, girl, you are next level. I just love her so much this season. Yeah. Also, did you watch the Decibling? Have you watched already?
Not yet, but it's on my to-do list. I did see the promotion for it.
It's so good.
Is
It is
it?
so good. And yeah, just watch it and then I'll call back when you watched it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arjun.
Bye.
I love when you guys come with unpopular opinion. Not a Kelly stan. We got a Kelly stan in the building. All right. Nai's backstage. Nai, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just called to say, first, I did try Nana's Chicken and Waffles, and it was amazing. Although I'm not a big Kelly fan. I don't hate her, but I'm just not a big Kelly fan. Food was excellent, though. Second, Shamea. I do like Shamea. I'm one of the people that feel like maybe this isn't her scene, although it could be. I think that her tension with Porsha kind of messes up her, kind of keeps her from being her regular self on the show. And I feel like when it comes to the baby, I think we have to remember the last baby she had was sick when she was born. So that was probably a whole lot. So maybe anytime she's in there talking about the whole ceremony, probably emotional for her because they went through a whole lot with that last baby they had. And I think that's all I want to say. Also, K. Michelle, definitely big flop. Can't wait to get her off my screen. And I don't usually want this, but K. Michelle, yeah, this is not it. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Nai. Take care. All right, let's bring up Makai next. Makai, what's going on? What do you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I just wanted to share. So I feel like last night, K. Michelle put out a little, disclaimer on Watch What Happens Live saying that y'all can't see past any of the vets and the OGs or whatever doing anything wrong. And I was just like, she kind of ate with that. I can't lie.
Did she?
A lot of these.
I personally took her when she said that. It was giving you're pressed by people being fans of the vets. You're jealous about people loving the people that are currently on the show. It was giving you're intimidated. It confirmed for me what people have been suggesting. But that's me. Anyway, this is your moment. Go ahead.
No, I don't. Look, I'm open. I'm all ears. I need to figure out. I'm trying to figure it out because look, I do think sometimes people are, giving the vets and the OGs, too much credit when they don't do enough, i.e. Kyle Richards. But, Phaedra, hello. But, it is what it is. And then the second claim I wanted to make was, I just think, I think Shamea is a beautiful woman. When she dresses right, she gets it right. She needs to get off this show to protect herself and her marriage. I just think it's not a good look right now with everything, especially with the reports coming out about Gerald's age too right now.
Not the reports.
I just think for her and her health, go be besties with Candy. You on the trip with Candy. Candy needs to keep giving you advice if you're going to stay in this housewives world because you floundering, baby. You floundering.
I think she did give her advice. I'm sure they were talking all about it during Candy's birthday trip.
Well, Candy, give her some better advice because it ain't working out. All right, that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. Monday Bliss, did you call back in?
Yes, Kempire, I had to call back in because these people were saying that Porsha sleeping with all these men and whatsoever, but if you go back and look at it, all of them slept with the same man. Candy and Phaedra slept with the same man when the lady came on from the trip with Nene, remember? So when they keep talking about Porsha vagina, they need to talk about everybody's vagina and forget that when Porsha was messing with Simon whatsoever, Fallon was pregnant by another man. So why everybody keep coming down on Porsha? Yes, everybody got a pass. All of them sleep around. Phaedra, she got the head doctor name. So come on.
That was from high school.
Yeah, stop coming for Porsha vagina. All of them doing the same thing. Be for real. Look how many people Candy has slept with. It just that they haven't been brought to the show. All of them sleep with the same people. Dallas Austin, Jermaine Dupri. Come on, be for real. Leave
Atlanta.
Porsche alone. You know what I mean? That's Atlanta. And that's what I'm saying. They keep calling Porsche this, Porsche that. And Kelly calling somebody an alien when she looking like a dwarf. Be for real, girl. Take several seats. That's all I got, Kempire. Sorry to call back in.
No problem. Thank you so much, Miss Diane, for calling in. That was Portia's mama coming to defend her. Oh, wait. Melissa dropped out. I saw Melissa called in. Melissa, you calling back in? I'll stay on because Melissa hasn't called in forever. Melissa, call back in. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. I've been live for over 3 long hours, but we had a lot to talk about. That means it's a good episode. If you had to rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? I would rate this. It wasn't as good as the Dallas trip, but I thought it was solid. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. How would you guys rate it? How would you rate it? Let me see what the poll is on YouTube. Let me look. Looky. Hold on, y'all. I got to refresh. As I'm doing that, guys, keep tapping the screens. All right, let me see what the poll is saying. So with already over almost 2,000 votes, can we get to 2,000 votes? We already have, how many people? We have over 2,300 of you here. Keep voting in the live chat poll on YouTube. But 73% of you rated this week's. I have to say the ratings for this season versus last season are doing way better. Our ratings. I'm not talking about the actual live ratings. But 7 to 10, 73% of you have voted this episode. 4 to 6, so 23% of you voted. And 4% of you did not like this episode. 1 to 3. All right, I'm seeing 7, 6s, 8, 7.5s, 9. Okay, Kiana gave it a 9. That's very generous of you. It wasn't a bad episode, but I don't know about a 9. But that's your rating, all right? Real House Husband says, I don't like why everyone's worried about who Porsha is sleeping with. Well, all right. Did we get to how many? We're almost at 2,000 votes. I want to get to 2,000 votes, and then I'm going to end the live. Vote. I mean, it's not really changing the numbers, though. It's not really changing the numbers. Guys, if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Are you enjoying it? What stood out to you? What did you think? Has K. Michelle been vindicated? What did you think about K. Michelle on Watch What Happens Live? Did she deliver? Were you convinced? I wasn't convinced, and I'm glad that Makai brought up the whole comment she made about the vets and how people love the vets. It's very clear that she feels intimidated by the vets, and she's intimidated based on what you guys are saying on social media. In the interviews that she did last week, it was very clear she's paying attention to what social media is saying. I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't want her to come back next season, but okay. Vicky says, I wait for your recap and then I see it. All right. Hold on. Did Melissa call back in? No, she didn't. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. But thank you all for being here for our 3+ hour live. All right. I will be recapping Real Housewives of Rhode Island tomorrow. I need to rewatch it. I will share more of my thoughts on that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. Tammy sent in another super chat. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy says, my mother is a traditional wife and agreed to be so as long as she had a daughter. 3 kids later, I am here. Oh, wait, so were the older 2 boys? My mom loves it because I have her back. Aww. I mean, look, people have agreements when they get married. I am not judging Gerald because I don't know the agreements that he's had on the show. But it does feel like, and I said this last season, it feels like Shamea doesn't want to have another kid. And I wouldn't blame her. She's been through a lot, especially with the last child, when it comes to health issues and things like that she went through. She probably doesn't want to go through that. And she's a Taurus. We like tranquility. We like stable. And that's a situation that might be unstable that you don't know about. So, I don't know. She likes it. I love it. Just take it off the show. Blanche called in. Blanche, what did you want to share? Blanche, you're muted. Blanche, you're muted.
Hi, Kempire.
There we go.
Hi. Okay, so I have to say I'm part of the replay crew, but I actually watched this episode because I was so confused by all of the other recaps. And I mean, 2 things can be true. Portia's a liar. Phaedra, she schemes. And a lot of people didn't even want her back on the show. We've constantly called out Porsha as well. But K. Michelle is just not landing this plane. It's not making sense. It's not connecting. She needs to go back to flight school. I'm sorry. It's just not working. She's a flop. She's proving everyone who said that she didn't belong on the show and that she's a mean girl.
Right.
It has nothing to do with like trying to fight and all of that. She just has very negative energy and she's always the victim. It's very much she plays the victim and the villain at the same time, with the exception of like the Rashida scenario.
Yeah.
Everything else, though, she's very male centered, and there are issues with her. And I would not be surprised if she did not have a lot of female friends. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. I mean, all the people she keeps talking to, they're her exes.
Yes. And another thing with the ex thing, it's like someone else pointed out, it's okay, you want to bring up Black. Oh, just saying that he's your friend, that triggers you. But everything is, I got a husband, I got a husband. If Porsha had mentioned that man, I don't even remember his name, then it would have been, why are you bringing up my ex? I have a husband now. This is married vagina.
Right? You just never know with her.
Which one is it? I just think that she finds reasons to pounce on other women. She has to be the queen bee. But she's only really pouncing with Drew, not on Porsha, who she claims to have so much vitriol against. It's just not adding up.
I think she definitely wanted to come in. She wants to claim that Porsha is the queen bee and she's trying to be the queen bee. I think you're intimidated by Porsha and you thought you would be the queen bee.
Yes. And I think that, she and Shamea and even Kelly too, I think they're jealous of the fact that Porsha has a lot of flaws. Yes, it's the promiscuity, the lying, whatever else, but people still like her because Porsha is charming and she's funny. She's good TV. People don't really care about the character. She's funny and she's charming. And people could even overlook some of the mean girl stuff. Nene she could be really mean, but Nene was also funny. She was also good TV. Thank you.
Thanks, Blanche, for
Enjoy
calling
the
in.
rest of your holiday if you can. I
You
know it's
too.
raining here in Atlanta too, so I understand.
Look like the sun may have come out. I'm going to go see if I can go put on my pom-pom shorts and go shake it.
I know that's right.
Bye, Blanche. I'm joking. I'm not going to shake nothing. Okay, I might go outside for a walk and enjoy this beautiful weather as long as we have it. But if it's raining in Atlanta, that means it's probably moving up the East Coast and it will be raining here too. What you going to do? Kay can be funny. I will say that. Tara Lynn says Kay is also funny. Kay can be funny. She made me laugh a couple of times in this episode. I don't know, though. I don't know if I could deal with Kay for another season of, like, reaching for an issue and playing victim. Like, that's a little bit more draining, too. Look. Where the food at, as Angela said? Where's the food at? All right. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to all of you that are here. Over 2,000 of you here. Are you also subscribed to the channel? I hope so. If you're not, subscribe. You're missing out. You're missing out on when we go live. You're missing out when we post special content. To become a member, don't forget you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes when you are a part of our podcast community. So subscribe to the podcast and join our free mailing list. You missed out on my birthday trip. I gave you all kinds of stuff for my birthday trip, but there's more stuff coming. So join our mailing list, Kempire's Inner Circle, at thekempire.com/join. That's thekempire.com/join. And if you want to help us get more sponsors, go support the sponsors of today. All right, more information on our sponsors and everything Kempire will be available in the description. Thank you to our King's Guards. It's not easy taking care of all the babies in the chat. I mean that lovingly. So be sure to thank our King's Guards. We need to add a couple more King's Guards because poor Foxy's the only one in here holding it down. So let me know if you are interested in being a King's Guard because some of y'all here all the time. At least y'all could do is we'll do a little work. Foxy will let me know the people that are interested. Okay? All right. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Go relax, do all the things. I have a busy week. I just have appointment after appointment. So I got things to take care of. You will get content, but some of it might be pre-recorded. No, good. Anyway, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats. Bless Jess, thank you for the super chat. She says, did you notice that K. Michelle snubbed Pinky on Watch What Happens Live and said that she's close to Phaedra? She sees us saying Pinky is performing better. I mentioned that during the recap. You might be just joining us because we've been live for 3 hours. Tish, you would like to be Tish, I will make you a mod. Where's Tish? I just saw Tish. Because Tish is always here, and she's Jamaican, and I met her in real life. Where'd Tish comment go? Hold on, y'all. Let me add Tish. Oh, wait, there's Tish. Hold on. Add as moderator. All right, moderator. There you go. There you is, mod. All right, we just added more mod. We're gonna add I think we should add a couple more. We need to add a couple more. So let me know if you guys would like to be a moderator, and then we'll assess. Let Foxy know. I'm sorry, Foxy, I'm putting on Foxy, but Foxy, she pays attention. Some of y'all probably shouldn't be moderators. So Foxy, let me know who you think should be a moderator. All right. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Memorial Day. If you can, go enjoy it. All right. The crying is the reason Kay can go. Lord. All right. Shout out to our new mod, Tish. All right. Bye, y'all. I'm going to go eat something. I definitely need to go eat something. I have not eaten. I didn't even have breakfast. All right. Bye, y'all. See you all in the next one. And maybe I'll share the tea about Real Housewives of Potomac. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.